Okay. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Mm.
Hoping that you are listening with both ears open. Reach inside with your little finger very carefully now and get all the wax out of your ears to make sure you hear this.
The chords.
Very carefully.
Sweet. I hate my phone sometimes. Okay. All right. Well, there's that. Announcements.
But that's neither here nor there, man. We still got a nice wave. We still getting busy doing us. You see what I'm saying? Like. Time is 3 minutes after the hour of 1 o'clock. Today's date is Wednesday, March 19, 2025. My name is Richard L. Higgard, District Court Judge. This is the second day of trial. Third day, but second day with an actual jury. It appears that the attorneys are present along with Ms. Rice. I'll start with you, Ms. Sorgan. Is there anything I need to do before I bring in the jury?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand, anything to be done before I bring in the jury?
No, Your Honor, we're just going to continue our objections on the pretrial motions, that's all.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
all right. Then can we go ahead and bring in the jury? Cameras are off.
Well, hi, Hurst. Hi. Here, hold on. I'll turn my cam on in a second. I gotta smoke still. How are you today? How are you holding up, by the way, with all the snow and shit? Has your like power and wind been like flickering, or like power and internet? My shit keeps like resetting. It's mostly just my power, and I think it's because I have a branch on one of the lines. Smoke. Okay.
Sorgan, do you waive roll call of the jury?
State waives roll call.
Mr. Sand?
We do as well, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Sorgan, call your next witness.
State calls Laura Knapp.
For 3 hours? It was supposed to be 2. No, it was supposed to be 3.
Ms. Knapp, if you'll come up here, please, ma'am. Right up here, please, ma'am.
Power's blinked twice. Okay, I hate this. I don't even want to go outside if it... Yeah, literally, you know what's crazy is my duplex neighbor, the other person that's on the other side of the duplex, they were going to go out to the grocery store, literally across the major street outside our neighborhood. She backed straight out, drove straight back into her driveway and said, no, and texted Bump and was like, yep, nope, never mind, not happening. So, I'm like waiting until much later this afternoon. I'll probably, if I go out, it'll be after stream. Because I got to go get weed at some point.
Ma'am, are you currently employed?
Are you go to the dispensary?
Are you currently employed?
Yes, I am.
Do you have the same employer now that you did in 2007?
No, different one.
Where were you employed at in 2007?
Northgate Apartments, Minot.
And what did you do there?
Their audio is so quiet. Fucking hate it. Why are you...
Leases, showing apartment,
What?
deposits, help maintenance guys.
There we go. Jesus fucking Christ.
How long did you hold that position?
16 years.
And what years were those?
I'm sorry, what?
What were the dates, the years for those?
I still didn't catch that.
Ooh, how's the stylus?
16 years.
How's the
What were
stylus?
dates?
Also, I'm glad to see you in
16 years
YouTube chat.
after.
Okay.
How are
starting
you
what year
doing
and
now?
ending what year?
Probably about 1989, somewhere in there.
Damn, okay.
Until 2012.
Okay.
Let's check this one.
And what was the address of the Northgate Apartments?
This started at 2400 4th Street Northwest,
And that's in what city?
Minot, North Dakota.
Do you recall a lease with regards to an individual by the name of Anita?
Yes.
Okay.
And
So
anybody else
she was on the property that
on there? Anybody else?
of the apartment complex. Okay.
Nicole Rice,
What was the apartment number?
It's their audio.
420.
They're fucking quiet.
And could you describe that
They're
apartment?
hella
for us?
quiet.
How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms?
2 bedrooms, 1 bath.
And could you describe the building that it was in?
Did I what?
Could you please describe the building that that apartment was in?
It was a building that had 8 apartments, 4 on the north side and 4 on the south side.
And which side was number 5 on?
North side, I believe.
Okay. I'm going to
We're
draw
gonna do-
your attention to June 4th.
We're gonna do crowd control, see skylines in the background too. I like it. I'm not a fan. Oh, god damn it! It always does this.
Went to work.
Okay.
Are you not a fan
normal
of the
duties.
fact that I have to fully disconnect it?
Apartment,
Oh,
Getting an apartment ready for showing. So it's beginning of the month.
right. So you're using the stylus more like when you're in bed and stuff, and using the
And
pencil
when you were done with work that day,
when you're like sitting down and doing stuff.
Went up to my apartment.
Oh, that's fucking,
Was your
that's beautiful.
apartment also at
Honestly,
Northgate?
Yes, it is.
it's kind of like my head, the bone induction headphones I got
Is
yesterday.
that something that was
They kind of were super easy to set up.
Yes, it was.
I need to put them back on. All right, do this.
When you went home at the end of the day, what did you do?
Went up to my apartment. Like cleaning up from
Bam, there we go.
the day of like leases or what I had laying there. Preparing dinner.
Okay. Did anything of note happen while you were preparing dinner?
I'm sorry, what?
Did anything of note happen while you were preparing dinner?
Something that happened.
Yeah.
Also, you guys are going to see the seamless transitions from channels. Watch the Twitch channel here. At a certain point, we'll just go live, and we'll just continue going.
He told me that I needed to come to the door. I went to the door, and a gentleman was standing there and said that tried to get a hold of his daughter for several days, him and his wife. Ask if he could,
So we're restreaming. I'm not sure yet. I have to test the stylus more. Even have the.
But I could go down there and open up the apartment for him.
And what did you do?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
When I got my keys and
I haven't fucked with any of the Apple Pencil shit.
And which apartment was it that he needed opened up?
2420 4th Street Northwest, apartment number 5.
Okay. Did you ever get this gentleman's name?
Gordon.
Okay. And you went to that apartment with Gordon. What did you do next?
I remember
Yes.
going to the
No
door,
worries.
And it seemed like it was locked.
I am. You let me know if you're trying to play some like Repo or Headliners. I'm down for shit later.
My keys.
I just gotta get all this case stuff done first.
Opened the door.
Once we're done with court, I can.
It was a little hard, but it clicked. So I knew
Once I'm done with court stuff, we'll be good.
what was locked.
I'll be gaming substantially more with people.
Gained entrance into the apartment.
Okay.
So be safe.
Once you unlocked
Go see
the
your
door,
friend.
what did you do?
We'll be here.
Gordon went in first, and I followed behind him. And
We'll be live on the Twitch channel at some point.
we went down towards the bedroom, and I stood in the kitchen area where I could see the bedroom door, or the bedroom area.
And then what did you see?
Gordon
Yeah.
coming out.
I'm really hoping I can get some and go get weed or get weed delivered.
Say we need to call the
Okay.
And did you call the police?
I can't remember if it was myself or Gordon called the police, but one of us did.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that your maintenance man answered your door to your apartment.
Yes.
Who is the maintenance man?
Marty and Al.
Do you know the maintenance man?
And why was Marty
The
in your
maintenance man?
apartment?
The maintenance man.
We lived together.
Sounds
You were
good.
romantic
Sounds good.
involved?
Yes.
Okay.
I ain't
For
going anywhere. I got nothing to do today.
About 10 years.
Now, you said Marty was the maintenance man. How long had he worked for Northgate Apartments as the maintenance man?
Probably almost 2 years.
And Marty lived with you. Is
Let's
that
go
right?
Power World.
Yes.
Okay. Was living in the apartment part of Marty's compensation package from the apartments like it was yours?
Yeah, I guess basically probably. The owner knew he was living there.
Okay. But the apartment was for the resident manager, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, she was the resident manager. Oh. Okay, I see why she's on the stand after
Now, you said that
not working
Marty lived
anymore.
with you. Had you seen Marty earlier
Like-
that day?
Her importance to her and testimony importance.
Okay. What all did you all do together?
Worked, shopped, met up with friends once in a while at night.
Okay. With the two of you working together, were you working side by side? Were you working apart? How did that work?
There's cosmetic armor.
Okay.
Did I not?
And were there
That's
ever
it?
periods of time when you're working together that you and Marty were not within each other's eyesight?
Really?
Now, you said not really. What does
Well,
that
if
mean?
I was like cleaning and I needed maintenance done, the a toilet fixed or a patch in the wall. He did that while we were still in the same apartment, in the same area working together.
Now, you said that you and Marty lived together about 10 years. What was your relationship?
He was my fiance.
Wait.
What were
Oh,
Marty's
damn.
duties at
Did Marty
Northgate Apartments?
die?
Duties of a maintenance guy, repairing.
Is that the guy? Oh, oh, I know who Marty is. Oh, I just remembered. Marty's the one that killed himself after finding the bodies, like later killed himself. Okay, yeah,
When
I
Marty
remember
would
now.
repair things, what would he do with them?
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that.
If it was something in, like if it's a toilet in an apartment, and he did it right there.
What if it was something that couldn't be repaired in the apartment?
Screens.
Okay. And what would he do with those?
They would go to the shop
Okay. And there was a shop. Where was the shop located?
on the same grounds.
Okay. On the date that Gordon came knocking on your door and asked you to let him into Anita's apartment, was there something that needed repaired for that apartment?
A screen.
Okay. Did you see the screen?
After we got taken into the shop, yes.
Okay. Can you describe the screen?
The frame was bent, and there was a cut in it.
Was it, can you describe the cut?
No, not really. I just know it was slashed.
Okay. And it was in the
Okay,
shop?
yeah.
Yes.
All right. Who put it in the shop, to your knowledge?
This is a lot
Hi, Marty.
on the screen, but I think that's because
And
they're
do you
trying
know
to
when it was placed in the shop?
establish
When
that there wasn't a
walked
break-in.
to-
That's what I'm thinking.
There's laundry rooms up there in between the units, and we would lock them up at night to prevent vandalism, and then they would get reopened up in the morning.
Okay. Can you describe the kind of screens that were at the apartments at Northgate?
The frames were probably like aluminum. They were easy to bend.
Okay. Were these expensive screens or?
Probably what a general screen would just be in an apartment.
Can you please describe the locks that were on the doors at the apartments at Northgate?
Bolt locks.
Okay. And what does that mean to you?
You had to have a key to entrance and to leave the apartment to have it locked.
So you couldn't just
Oh,
push
crowd
it
control
and it
doesn't
was
fucking
locked?
matter, right?
You had to have the key to do it.
I don't know how it's set
Were
up
the
for
locks changed in that apartment, in those
YouTube.
apartments when people moved out?
Yes.
And what was the practice for doing that?
It was Shooks that came up and changed them.
Okay. And
Or-
Shooks is a lock company?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shooks Locksmith. That's where we got our locks from.
Okay. And what would they do with the old locks when they'd take them off the doors?
We would keep them once in a while. If they were damaged, they went in the garbage.
Okay. Were locks ever recycled on doors?
Once in a while they were.
crowd control doesn't
And
fucking
was there
matter
a
on
record
YouTube.
that was kept of what lock got recycled onto what new door?
No.
Can you describe the keys to those locks?
What do you mean describe the key?
What was the key like physically?
It was probably about an inch wide on top. They were like heavy duty keys.
Are these the kinds of keys that could be, well, let me ask a different question first off. How many keys were given out to apartment number 5 when Anita Knutson and Nicole Thomas were living in that apartment?
2.
Okay, and why is that?
That's for how many tenants are in that apartment. That's how many keys are issued out.
What was the policy with regards to copying of keys?
You couldn't.
Okay, it wasn't allowed?
No.
All right. Was it possible to copy keys?
No.
Okay, and why is that?
because they were from the locksmith, and you had to have permission to have them made. And there was only a certain amount.
There's a weed shop 4. I forgot about this.
Okay. In that time frame, at 2007, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And could somebody just take that key to Shook's Locks and get that made without you knowing about it?
No.
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation.
That's a huge
Okay.
call for speculation.
I'm sorry, what?
You could answer the question.
No, there was only certain people on the list that could get those keys made.
Okay. And who were those people?
Myself and the owner, I know for sure.
And was a record kept if copies of those keys were requested?
I'm sorry, what?
Was there a record kept if copies of keys for an apartment were requested?
No.
Okay. Are you aware of whether or not keys were made for number 5, copies of keys?
I don't think so.
Okay. You never handled any request for a copy, is that fair
No.
to say?
Oh, no. I misunderstood your question.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay. If you don't understand me, just tell me, okay? All right. And why was it that it had to go through management or ownership to get a key copy made?
That's the only way you could get a key made.
Was there a fee associated with it?
I'm sorry, what?
Was there a fee associated with that?
If there was a last key, yes.
Can you move your camera to the upper corner? Oh, I'm blocking the here. Let me see if I can
You
move the
said
closed
that
captioning.
Marty would do a walkthrough of the apartment complex. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. How often did he do that?
Well, it's
No, I can't. Fuck. Okay.
We did it in the morning, and we did.
I got you.
every night
Yep.
Okay. About what time in the morning?
Between 7 and 8.
Yeah, I got you. I'll even try to turn it up a little bit
With
more.
Marty when he found the screen that he put in his shop?
No, he went and did the walkthrough himself.
Okay. How long was Marty away from you at the time that he did that walkthrough?
It only probably takes about 10 minutes.
Okay. And did you inspect the window that
Oh,
this
God, this
screen
is
may
too
have come
loud.
from yourself?
No, I just knew that when he brought the screen in, he told me what apartment it was.
This is like too loud on my end.
Now, Marty is no longer employed with Northgate, is that right?
No, Marty's dead.
When did Marty's employment there end?
New Year's Day on 2009.
That's pretty specific. Why do you know that?
That's when he committed suicide.
Yes. That's why he can't be employed. He's fucking dead. He killed himself. No, you're
What was
fine. You're
going
not
on
being
in
in pain.
Marty's life at that time?
God, the state, God, this is another time. The state's just kind of, it feels like they're being insensitive. Like,
Few things,
it's just, this is a hard part for her because this was her fiance that literally killed himself on the property because he had found this girl's body
Parkinson's disease.
prior to this. Like, he killed himself on like New Year's Day,
Nephew or niece that he was very fond
the
of.
next year. Like the next New Year's.
I guess basically his family that was here.
God, and
Was there anything going on in your relationship?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Is like there's so many other ways to approach that other than that's a very specific date on his employment ending. Well, yeah, no fucking shit. Your employment ends when you kill yourself.
Had that happened.
Duh. It's just a very insensitive approach to that. I get why they have to establish that, but there's better ways to establish that
Did
than
Marty have health
that.
insurance?
No, we didn't.
And you said his family moved away. Where'd they move to?
His mother moved to Animus, to be closer to her sisters because they were all getting up in age.
Yep,
He
and
had a sister.
he wasn't there anymore.
Yes.
Is Marty close to his family?
He was.
Yes.
What were holidays like for Marty's family?
Well, I guess we always spent Thanksgiving and Christmas, those two main ones, all together as a family.
And so Thanksgiving and Christmas of 2008, which would have been the holidays just before Marty's suicide,
Yes.
did you spend those with Marty's family?
No.
No, because Marty was depressed, I bet you. He was so depressed by what he came across.
What was Marty's relationship with alcohol like?
He was an alcoholic too, was he? I don't think he would.
Drink like by everybody else. And
I was gonna
Did he
say,
drink?
yeah, I'm like after work or whatever, or like on a Friday, we'll go have a few drinks.
yeah, but
And
see, and they're
what
trying.
did you notice of his drinking in the time period leading up to when he committed suicide?
Okay, so this shows the impact of finding. Okay, I get this.
Difference.
Okay, was there? Oh, there wasn't. Okay, so they're not saying that they're like disqualifying that Marty killed himself out of like the alcoholism could have been an issue or a contributing factor.
Laura, did Marty own a knife?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I never
Okay.
seen one.
Okay. Like, because I feel like the defense might try to disqualify some of that impact.
I have no further questions.
Because it's really hard.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It was really fucking hard to, like, brush away the fact that, like, because the defense's client killed Anita, that this maintenance man that reported it and was the one that spotted it killed himself shortly afterwards.
2009 to 2012. I just want to make sure I got that right.
I'm estimating. I'm not sure.
Dude.
I worked there longer than that.
Okay. That would be 23 years by my math. But
Okay, dude.
I'm gonna say, all I know was 16 years.
okay, but so we're not sure of the dates.
Well, not when I started, but when I left there, yes.
So 2012 is when you left.
Yes.
Okay. When did you start dating Marty?
I don't know the exact year.
Can you give me a ballpark?
About 1998, 1999.
Okay. And I am not trying to say anything negative about the dead, but I'm going to ask you, did Marty ever use drugs that you know of?
No.
You sure?
See?
Yeah.
Okay.
I literally called this. They were going to try to disqualify this.
But he drank?
I'm sorry, what?
But he did drink, you said earlier.
Oh my God, like a casual
Like on
drinker.
a Friday night.
Dude, come on, man.
End of the week, yes.
Okay. And now you said that Marty was the maintenance man, correct?
Yes.
And you were the general manager of the apartments?
I was the resident manager.
Resident manager.
Yes,
You
the
said
manager that
Marty-
lives on site.
I'm sorry, what?
You had said Marty didn't have a knife?
Well, he didn't like own one. Jesus Christ.
Did he ever have to use tools? Do you know?
Dude, they're trying to imply that he might have.
Carpenter knife, a box knife.
Yeah, but those are not. Oh my God.
Read it with him. It was only during work hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
dumb. That's like that's what she was
Marty
getting at.
working the day that Anita's body was discovered?
Yes.
They're trying to imply that their client did not do it. It could have possibly been the maintenance man. Fuck off, dude.
Did you
That's
talk
so
to
fucked
Marty
up.
at all about what happened to Anita?
Yeah.
No.
Oh wait, really?
Did you discuss it?
No. I just bought the screen that needed to be repaired or whatever. No, we didn't discuss Anita's body or nothing like that.
So after you went in to the
Okay,
apartment,
I do hate this.
with Mr.
I hate this too, man. This is I don't like the defense.
That at all? There was no talk about it?
No.
Okay.
The problem, okay. I think I know why some of us hate this, at least like you and I. We're hating this experience because Minot is a very small town in North Dakota, right? Like, let me look at what's the fucking population currently. And remember, this is a case that's 15 years old, right? They are, what's their population at? Less than 50,000. Okay? In 2023, 2 years ago, the census for Minot was 48,377. Okay? Something to keep in mind is one, it's North Dakota. So there is a lot of just oil fields, a lot of cattle farms, and that's about it. Like there's little small towns and stuff that you can do shit, but it's literally like the most rural living that you can live, in my opinion. Like I know motherfuckers that live out on like work camps on oil rig sites that are living in fucking tents or like cheap thrown together buildings, right? The people that are not there working on the oil fields, that population is farmers, older people, elderly, people that have North Dakota for like 40 plus years, because people don't just go to North Dakota people don't move to North Dakota very often. Like it's not a driving place that's going to pull people. So like it's kind of a lot of that is people that are just kind of there. They were born there. They lived there. They went to school, like they went to college in North Dakota or South Dakota. Like they've only known the Dakotas. That's a good chunk of it. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them. And this case is 15 years old. It went cold for a long time. So a lot of these people are older. They're all past 60 at this point. Most of these people, because all of these people were in their late 30s, or most of these people were in their late 30s, if not older, when this murder happened. So like, and then you have to add in like, you take into consideration the population and the populace there. You take in consideration the time that has passed since. And like we saw yesterday, we saw both of Anita's parents go on the stand. And that was tragic. I do think that today is going to be a little bit better once we get through this.
The state's attorney had asked you about this screen that had been slashed, correct?
Yes.
When's the first time you saw that screen?
I'm going to speed it up to catch up.
That morning when I was in the shop.
You were in the shop with Marty?
Yes.
Okay. Where was the screen? In the shop?
Yes.
Okay. And you were in there with Marty, correct?
Yes.
How did the screen get in the shop? Did Marty bring it in there?
He picked it up and brought it into the shop.
Do you know where he found it?
He said outside that window.
Okay. Did Marty talk to you about a curtain or rods at all being outside that window?
No.
He didn't tell you that he threw a curtain rod and curtains back into the window?
No, there was no mention of a curtain rod or a curtain.
Okay. Do you know where specifically on the property the screen was when Marty picked it up, or however he got it to the shop?
Towards the sidewalk.
And like she has heard
Police officers and all?
Something to keep in mind too is she is not the one that interacted with any of these fucking people. Marty was the one that found the screen. Marty no longer is alive. So the person that actually witnessed this, figured this shit out and everything, they're not here. So she's kind of playing telephone to her best ability of what Marty told her, his fiance, in the short bit of time after finding the body, before he killed himself.
What, like up at the apartments?
Yeah, after Anita's death. Were you interviewed by police?
I don't recall really talking to
You were interviewed by Detective
2007.
Plessis. Do you recall that?
I'm sorry, what?
You were interviewed by Detective Plessis on June 6th. Do you recall that?
Down at the police station, yes,
Yeah.
but not.
Patch note day. Furry creature.
Do you recall Detective Plessis discussing the lock with you?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you recall Detective Plessis discussing the lock with you? I apologize if you're having trouble hearing.
No, I don't.
No? If I showed you a transcript of the interview you had with Detective Plessis, might that help you refresh your recollection? Okay.
Yay, guys. Any bizarre players? No longer enchanted golden enchantment spawn items. Now we don't get fucking pointless fucking piggy banks and shit. Thank God. Regen can now crit? Interesting.
Stop talking, ma'am, please. Ma'am, you have to wait for him to ask you a question.
That was a little rude, but I get why.
Have you had a chance to read through that? Review it? Snap, have you had a chance to read?
This is interesting. Okay.
That's just that section.
I'm just trying to catch this.
Added wins base bonus prize pass. Okay, so I guess I get that. There's still no ticket for wins.
Now, Ms. Knapp, after reviewing that, do you recall what you said to Mr. Plessis when he asked you if the door was locked?
Oh, billboard got redesigned. Fuck, dude.
I don't know if it's dirt or whatever.
Thank you.
Stick.
Interesting. They moved it from a passive thing in your cache to now only effective in your on the board. Bushel finally got food type.
Do you remember?
Oh, I like cargo shirts redesign.
From the landing bar.
We'll get to Dealy
Do you
here.
remember calling Detective Goodman about a tip you had heard at the landing bar in Minot?
No,
You don't.
no.
Oh, it gives me a possible Wait. Oh, that's annoying. At the start of each day, get a chocolate bar. Oh, you get one of each. Okay, that's actually better. Never mind. Okay. Signet ring finally got its tag. Good.
Those are the only questions I have, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Knapp.
Hogwash got buffed.
Briefly. Laura, Mr. Sand asked you about an
Majorly.
interview on June 6th at the police department, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Was that with Officer Plessis or Detective Goodman?
I don't recall what officer it was.
Okay.
Oh, it freezes items in general?
Mr. Sand
Okay.
asked you about when you first saw the screen in the shop with Marty. What drew your attention to the screen?
What was the weather screen?
What drew your attention to the screen that you noticed it?
He showed it to me
Marty pointed it out to you?
in the shop, yeah.
Okay.
He says, I put the screen over here.
Okay. And Mr. Sand asked you about the statement that you had made about sometimes the door sticks, but you had some additional information to add on that, correct?
Yes.
And what is that?
Once in a while, the doors do stick because of the wind blowing in with debris, dirt, dust. But after you work it a bit, it'll click, then you know it's unlocked.
Okay. Now, to clarify, did you try the door without putting a key in it first on June 4th?
Yes.
And you were aware that the doors sometimes stick?
Reduce frostfire,
Did you
that
take that into
sucks.
account when you tried to open
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Sustained.
it? Okay. How much effort did you put in before you started using a key?
I'm sorry, what?
How much effort did you put into opening the door before you started using a key?
I turned the knob, whatever, and didn't want to. That's how I knew it was locked. I put the key in, jiggled it a little bit, and then it clicked. And then I turned the knob, and the door opened.
Okay. What did you hear when you used the key?
The click,
Okay. And what did that mean to you?
the door was unlocked.
The door was unlocked once you had used the key.
After I used the key, yes.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing further.
Mr. Sand?
Just briefly, Your Honor. So the state just asked you about you seeing the screen, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna show
Okay,
you what's marked.
those patch notes. I'll post those in Discord.
Okay.
Actually, that would be defense A.
Is that the screen that you recall seeing?
No, I don't recall exactly if it's that screen or not, because I'm not sure if that's our shop.
I'm going to show this to you one more time, Ms. Knapp. Take a good look at it. Does that look like your shop on the screen that was in it?
I don't recall how the shop was really set up. I don't know if that was in our shop.
So do you remember the screen?
Oh. I'm going to take that as a no.
And if you don't remember all the events of that day, that's okay. But does that look like the screen in the shop that you saw with Marty that morning?
If we're going to talk about this exhibit, it should be offered, Mr. Sand.
I am offering it, Your Honor.
Permission
Are
of
we
voir dire the
leaving it
witness with
one or A? Should be.
I have it marked as one, but I can mark it as A if Your Honor. If that's
Should
what
be
we're doing.
Defense Exhibit A. Mrs. Sorgan, is there any objection?
May I voir dire the witness with regards to the exhibit, Your Honor?
Have you seen the exhibit?
Briefly.
All right, you may.
Okay. Ms. Knapp, were you present when that photograph was taken?
I'm sorry, what?
Were you present when that photograph was taken?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Foundation, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand,
I'm simply asking if she, I'll withdraw it and get it in later, Your Honor, but I'm simply asking if she
you've offered
recognizes the screen.
you've offered the exhibit. Are you withdrawing your offer of the exhibit?
If we're questioning the witness, I'd like to ask her a couple more questions if the state's.
I'm not talking about the witness. I'm talking about are you voir diring more for the
Yes.
or you got other questions?
I'm asking in voir dire if you have seen that screen, if that's the screen that you have knowledge of.
I know our screens had a white frame.
Again, I'm going to stop you, Mr. Sand. If we're talking about this exhibit, it has
Yes. Yes. You have to submit it. The exhibit. You have to submit evidence.
Continuing that she began to try to establish foundation, Your Honor. Is that all right?
It is, but not with regard to whether she recognizes the screen or not.
Okay.
Yes. You can't ask that because you didn't establish the exhibit prior to.
Your Honor, objection.
I will withdraw it and try to get it in later then, Your Honor.
Yes. Yeah, you fucked that up, dude. That's aggravating.
Ms. Knapp, you recall looking at the screen you said earlier?
Yes, I glanced over at it, yes.
Okay. What do you recall that it looked like?
The frame was bent and there was a slash in it.
Okay. Do you remember what the slash looked like?
No, I just know it was cut.
Okay. Do you know if it was cut more than once?
Objection, asked and answered. She doesn't remember.
I didn't ask.
Overruled, not asked and answered.
Sorry, Your Honor.
You can answer it, ma'am. Do you know if it was cut more than once?
I don't recall that, if it was or not.
Okay. Now I'm going to move back to Marty. And I know this is probably difficult for you to discuss, but so you had testified earlier Marty committed suicide on New Year's Eve.
Objection beyond scope of redirect.
Mr. Sand?
I'll withdraw, Your Honor.
Jeez. They're so sloppy. This defense is so sloppy
No further
right now.
questions. Thank you.
All right.
Ah.
This witness hereby subpoena.
She is, Your Honor.
Is she excused from that subpoena?
She is, Your Honor.
Any objections, Mr. Sand?
Yeah, we would like to keep her under the state subpoena, Your Honor.
The state is releasing her from her subpoena.
Do you want to keep her under your subpoena?
We do not have a subpoena on her right now.
Then she's free to come and go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, I fucked up on that one. You may not get your opportunity to ask those questions later now.
Witness, Ms. Sorgan?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Nelson will be performing this examination.
State calls Dale Plessis.
All right.
We'll get him.
Thank you.
We're almost caught up to. We're a tiny bit behind.
Now, your current rank is that of captain. Is that correct?
Okay, so now we're going on to. Now we're away from
Give us a
this.
rundown of your training and experience, please.
This should be a bit better now.
I've been a police officer in Minot for
This will be a lot closer to what we're used to seeing for these kind of cases. Is now we're going to see the police officers, we're going to see the people that interacted on the scene and everything. Now we're not getting secondhand information by any means now.
attended the FBI National Academy.
Now, what was your role in this case?
I was the initial officer responding in 2007.
So you were a patrol officer at the time. Is that accurate?
Correct. I was a patrol officer.
And could you just give us a brief explanation of what a patrol officer does?
Patrolling the city of Minot, handled accidents, criminal investigations, minor criminal investigations, respond to emergencies.
Yeah, I just that first part was rough.
Respond to an emergency that dispatch sent you to involving this matter.
Yes, I did.
Okay, and where were you dispatched to?
All right.
I was dispatched to.
We also, I'm gonna be honest, we're also going to see people that are a little bit more resilient and used to seeing what was on the scene of the crime.
For.
Oh my fucking god!
Say that again.
Volume control. Get your fucking shit together.
Number 5.
Swear to God.
And that's in Minot, Ward County.
Correct.
And what happened when you got there?
I was dispatched for a potential unattended death or a deceased female. So I was at the very end of my shift at that day.
We're close to getting Bizarre servers back.
And I
Been
arrived
going on
scene
live on Twitch.
and made contact with the reporting party.
Would that be Gordon Knutson?
I think the reporting party was Laura Knapp.
Okay. So Laura Knapp was the one that called. When you say reporting party, you mean the person who called 911?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And was Gordon there as well?
He was.
Okay. And what happened next?
They directed me to the apartment, and Laura wanted to go in and show me where she was. I told her to wait outside. She motioned down the hallway, and I went to the bedroom where she was located.
And what did you find?
I found someone who was later identified as Anita Knutson, deceased in the bed.
And what did you do at that point?
I had a firefighter who had just arrived on scene. I'd asked them to stand outside and wait. Once I believed that she was deceased, I had him come in to verify. After he verified, I had him leave the scene, and at that time, community ambulance had arrived on scene, a paramedic, and I wanted them to verify, so I had them come in and just ensure that she, in fact, was deceased.
So the firefighter would have been there basically to perform CPR potentially or something like that. Is that accurate?
Correct. It's standard procedure to send the fire department in case there's something medical that we can do.
And Anita was long past that point. Is that accurate?
Objection leading, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Was there any life-saving that would have done anything for Ms. Knutson?
The firefighter indicated she was cold to the touch, and therefore he didn't believe there was anything to be done.
Okay. What happened
Okay.
next?
That's unfortunate and tragic.
I secured the apartment by securing the front door, standing outside of the front door. That's just standard procedure. Waited for investigators to arrive.
Did investigators come?
Yes, they did.
And who were those investigators?
I recall Bob Bernard was the first investigator on scene. I don't recall after that. Other officers also arrived.
And Mr. Barnard also, was he a detective with the Minot Police Department?
Correct, he was.
Okay. And what happened after that point?
After that point, I was contacted by my lieutenant in charge of my shift, and he instructed me to turn the crime scene over to another officer from the afternoon shift and to return to the PD.
And did you have an issue with that?
I didn't like that, no, but it was an order given to me, so.
Okay. So did you follow that order then?
I did.
And return to the PD?
Yes.
Okay. Did that pretty much end your involvement in the case?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Now, later in your career, were you involved in the detective side of things as far as the Minot Police Department?
Many years later, I became the commander of the investigations division.
Okay. So you've been with the Minot Police Department for, you said 24 years at this point?
Correct. In September, it'll be 24 years.
Okay. So that does include the entire period from June 4th of 2007 when Anita is discovered to when this case got charged out in March of 2000.
Right.
Correct.
Plus stuff on either end.
Yes.
Okay. Were you involved in any decision making on trying to find or work with detectives at the Minot Police Department to work the case, to try to crack the case?
Yes, I was. When I took over the investigation, I was instructed by Chief Klug to find a way to get the case.
We're so close to having Bizarre back.
Not necessarily started again, but readdressed.
Were there any difficulties with that?
Yes. Chief Klug was the commander of investigations. Two commanders in front of me. Well, Chief Klug and Justin Sunheim were both commanders of the investigations unit, and they both indicated that manpower was an issue for both of them. And trying to get to that point, what he asked me to do was find a way to get logistics and get the investigation going again.
Now, has manpower been, unfortunately, a persistent issue with the Minot Police Department?
Yes, as with all law enforcement agents, but definitely Minot PD has been down between 10 and 15, even more than that, since around that time. So
does that cover patrol officers, detectives, the whole kit and caboodle?
yeah,
I would imagine.
it does. I mean, it's across the board.
Now, over those 15 years between 2007 and 2022, how has crime changed in the city of Minot?
There was a couple of things that really impacted the crime in Minot. The flood being one of them, and the oil boom in western North Dakota being another. And so crime has increased. We're seeing a lot more violent crime than we ever have prior to that.
I was gonna say the last 10 years.
As a result of that, are detectives and other...
I was literally out in North Dakota just like maybe 2 years after this. So yeah, there's a big oil boom going on.
Were you involved in the decision to...
Massive oil boom.
...reach out to potentially podcasters or syndicated television shows, that sort of thing?
We never reached out to them. They reached out to us.
That's what I meant. So they reached out to the Minot Police Department, and you had to make a decision on whether or not you were going to cooperate. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay. And what was that decision?
Well, Cold Justice reached out to us and indicated that they had some things that they could provide us that were attractive to us. Logistics was a major one. DNA experts, forensic experts, and cold case investigator assistants. So we reviewed all that, made a decision that with their logistics, we would be able to move forward with this investigation a lot smoother than on our own.
So was that due to the logistical support that the decision was made to utilize them?
That was the major component. It is.
Oh, okay. So we see that like there was true crime help. True crime helped.
It allowed us to move a lot quicker. So yes.
Yes, that's so cool. All right, cool. I mean, like obviously, I'm not in a spot to have this kind of connections, but it's cool to see that like they are willing to work with these institutions and stuff.
It's a slightly different one than we have back home. I'm handing you 2 items. If you could take a look at those and let me know if you recognize those. You want to just hand that back to me when you're done?
Yes, I do.
And
Yes,
what,
I do recognize those.
And what are these documents?
They're maps. So one's a map of the city of Minot with the full city limits, and another one is a zoomed-in portion of the city of Minot.
And are these true and accurate copies of map of the city of Minot?
Yes, they appear to be.
Okay.
The state moves to introduce Exhibit 2A and 2B into evidence, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand, do you have any objections?
I'd need to come take a look at them, Your Honor. I
You may.
can't see them from here. Thank you.
Okay. Service need. I guess it's a free one. Okay, so they are submitting the maps.
How was that one offered? Your Honor, if I could ask, I know there's two maps up there. One was offered as a map of the city of Minot. Was the other one offered as a second map of the city of Minot?
Zoomed in.
Offered as a blow-up portion of Map A.
No objection.
Plaintiff's exhibits 2A and 2B will be received without objection.
And permission to publish, Your Honor?
Denied. I'm not going to let you pass those two sacks.
Oh, no, Your Honor. We've got an easel right here, and we've got clips to just show where places are in my life. We're not going to pass it down the line.
Then you can.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That would have been crazy if they just. All right, take one, pass it along. Wait. Wait. I think there's something going on with the God. Can I pop it out? Yes. Okay.
And
Do I lose all of it though?
You'll need a microphone.
Okay.
I'll sit at the desk and you can use this one.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Dude, there's okay.
And Captain Plus says, I can't see what you're doing over there, but if you could take a sticky note here that I'm going to pass to you.
Wait.
And use that to indicate the location of 2420 4th Street Northwest in Minot, Ward County.
Which exhibit is he on?
That's 2A.
I can't trust cold Justice Kelly Seeger anymore after that incident with her and the evidence on a different case.
Okay, I marked that. Put my glasses on.
Chat, such a knowledgeable chat regarding this case. Kelsey Seeger also lied about something and got in trouble for it, and that's why I don't trust her anymore.
B, which is the blow up of 2A.
I haven't been able to stand Kelly Seeger. Her ego is huge.
Captain Plus says if I could get that microphone back for a minute.
Okay, that's done.
I don't remember. I was planting evidence or something.
Let me make sure it's off. Yeah, it's on. Oh, the stickies? Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Sand, do you have any questions for Captain Blesses?
I do, Your Honor.
What are they doing? I think they lost the plot.
The state discussed with you MPD's numbers being down in terms of officers, correct?
Correct.
And you had said that you guys, all law enforcement had struggled, but you have struggled more, right?
I would say, I can't say more, but we are definitely struggling, yes.
What reasons do you think that's for?
That's so crazy.
There are multiple reasons. The police in general are struggling because of the perception of law enforcement, I guess. There's multiple reasons why we're down.
Did your police chief just step down?
Yes, he did.
Okay, do you know why?
He was
Ah.
investigated on a administrative investigation, and
Okay.
he, at the end of that investigation, chose to step down.
What do you
and-
know about the investigation?
Damn, this is so bad.
I believe
How is this like a?
Your Honor, especially given
Yeah.
what's gone on.
I'll overrule your objection. Please make sure you connect it, Mr.
I will, Your Honor.
What do I know about the investigation?
Yes.
I was involved in the investigation, but I guess I didn't conduct the investigation.
Did you review the report when it was completed?
I have read the report. I can't say that I've read it extremely thoroughly, but I have read the report.
And I'm guessing you're aware of the new report regarding Sergeant McLeod.
Yes, I am.
Okay, have you read that?
I have read through that. I have not in depth read.
Are you aware of the allegations of destruction of text messages and
Objection,
files?
Your Honor. Relevance to the
Extreme
current investigation.
relevance, Your Honor. That's
Okay. Can I have you approach the bench, please?
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, this is getting spicy. All right. All right. Dude, to be honest, I'm just gonna fire it up on Twitch. Well. Could go through. Yep. Okay. Eat. Worked out really well. Okay, I'm gonna be up here. Hey, talk this out.
All right, Mr. Sand, you can ask your question with regard to Officer Plessis, Captain Plessis, in relation to the manpower issues that the police department is having now.
well, my plan is to ask the same question I just asked, Your Honor. Is that objection being overruled or sustained?
Ask the question again.
Are you aware of the allegations of destroying of text messages and files in the new investigative report?
Objection, Your Honor, as to relevance.
Again, what's the relevance of that, Mr. Sand?
The relevance, Your Honor, is that the officers working on this report were involved in that.
Oh.
The objection is sustained. We're talking about an incident in 2007, not the
Interesting.
report.
Okay.
Interesting that they're
2007. Do you recall if MPD had manpower issues?
I don't recall what they were at that time. No,
Okay. What was your rank in 2007?
I was a senior officer.
Were you the first officer on scene?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Did you photograph anything at the scene?
No, I did not.
Did you observe anything at the scene?
I observed things at the scene.
Okay. Did you observe a curtain or a curtain rod at the scene?
I don't recall that.
Okay. What do you recall when you walked into the scene?
Like I said before, I recall being motioned down the hallway and finding Anita Knudsen on the bed.
Oh man.
Do you recall any involvement with Officer Klug in 2007 on this case?
I do not.
Do you remember him being involved in the case?
I do not.
Okay. Did you talk with Gordon Knudsen when you got in the scene at all?
I don't recall specifically talking to him, but I remember him being there.
Do you recall observing a ripped screen when you were at the scene?
No.
Or a slashed screen?
I did not see the screen, no.
Okay. Did you talk to the maintenance man, Mr. Marty Annell, when you were there?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What time did you leave the scene?
I'm not sure that I notated that. I was not on the scene for a long time.
Approximately how long? I know it was a long time.
I would guess, and this 17 years ago, but my guess would be maybe an hour at most.
Okay. What officers were there while you were there?
Shane Haug, Chuck LeBoy, Sergeant Haug, Larry Haug, Bob Bernard. Those are the officers I can recall.
Okay. Those are the only questions I have.
Mr. Nelson, do you have any redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor.
Is this officer here by subpoena?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is he excused?
He is excused, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand, do you have an objection?
No, sir.
He was getting ready to leave. He's like, all right, fucking bet, I'm out.
Next witness.
I'm out of this shit.
Strandberg.
So that's interesting, though. I was expecting to, we were, normally we just kind of see them run through and confirm a bunch of stuff and evidence, but that was a whole lot more.
Then have a seat over here, please. Once you're seated, just try to adjust the mic so it's aimed at your chin. And we'll start with the states.
Yep.
Go to the defense.
It's the easiest way to do it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Could you state your name for the record, please?
Dan Strandberg.
And like with the last gentleman that testified, we haven't had you testify for a while. So if you could spell your last name for the court, please.
Strandberg.
Okay. And are you currently employed, Mr. Sandberg?
I am not.
Okay. Were you formally employed?
I was.
I mean,
Could you give us a brief?
I've been formally employed.
Almost 30 years at the Minot Police
Doesn't say
Department.
shit.
Retired there as captain in charge of investigations. Then I went and worked for the Department of Corrections for 6 years as a probation officer.
That time that you were approximately 30 years, you said, at the Minot Police Department?
Yeah, 29 and change.
29 and change. And what were roughly the dates on that?
Oh, May 2nd.
I like this guy.
I
Oh,
think it was 1986 to July 31st, 2015.
So you remember specifically the day, but you have trouble with the year?
No, I'm pretty sure that was 1986. I just had to think about it for a second.
Okay. Now, You were a licensed peace officer at the time?
At the Minot Police Department, I started as a civilian dispatcher, did that for, I suppose, a couple of years, and then was licensed after that.
Okay. And what sort of training and experience did you have while you were with the Minot Police
Uh,
Pretty standard guy.
Thousands of hours of law enforcement training.
Okay. Now, on the 4th of June of 2007, were you sent out on a call relating to this case?
Yes.
And what was the nature of that call?
I got a voicemail on my cell phone from the PD that Officer Barnard was at a crime scene and requested that I respond to it.
And did you respond to that scene?
I did.
Was that at 2420 4th Street Northwest
Yes.
in Minot?
Yes.
That's in Ward County?
Yes.
What happened next?
I got the call. I went to the PD and got a digital camera.
Dude, I'm losing so much oil.
Sergeant
Going
Sunbach
through
was
so
working on
much.
a search warrant for the residents, and I responded to the residents, started taking some photos of some of the outside of the residence.
So maybe this is taking a little longer than usual. Fuck off,
waiting
Tempo.
for
Assholes. I want to play the fucking game. I need something to do in the background. Okay?
Showing opposing counsel what's been marked as States Exhibit 3A through F and 4A through 4D. Permission
Oh, yeah, they're taking care of it. Hey, go.
I've handed you a stack of documents there. If you could look through those and tell me if you
Okay, we need to make some actual. Oh, we have districts. Okay.
do you recognize those?
Yeah, they're photographs. They're photographs that I took of the general scene.
Is that those photographs the outside of the apartment?
Yes.
Okay. And are these true and accurate copies of the photographs that you took?
Yes.
State moves to introduce these exhibits into evidence, Your Honor.
And it consists of 6 under 3 and 4 under the 4. 10 exhibits.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Sand, do you have
No
any
objection.
She needs to do
All right. State
maybe a little bit of
exhibits
fishing
3A,
market.
4A through 4D are received without objection.
Now, what happened next? You said you were talking about the search warrant.
The search warrant got signed, and we entered the apartment.
And what happened at that point?
We went through the apartment. You walk in, there's a living room. Behind that, there's a kitchen. Hallway goes to your right. As you go down the hallway, you're going to the west. There's a bathroom on your left. There's a bedroom straight ahead and a bedroom at the end of the hallway on the right.
Okay. Now, did you take photographs within the apartment as well as the photographs you took outside the apartment?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so what do we need for this? Oh, we just need 60 more. Yeah. That's diamonds. Diamonds. Wait.
Okay, I've got another batch of photographs for you now. 5A and B. Just because we've got multiple batches, we'll do these one batch at a time.
Okay.
Do you recognize these photographs?
Yes.
And are these photographs of Anita's apartment?
Yes.
Okay, are they true and accurate copies of photographs?
Yes.
You took these photographs?
Yes.
State moves to enter 5A and 5B.
Mr. Sand?
No objection, Your Honor.
State's Exhibits 5A and 5B will be.
Okay.
received without objection.
A couple new photographs there. Do you recognize these photographs?
Yes.
Are you the one that took these photographs?
Yes.
And what are these photographs?
These are photographs of the body.
Ah, okay. This is
True and
or.
accurate copies of the photographs.
Yes.
Okay.
State moves to enter 6A and 6B into evidence.
Mr. Sand?
No objection.
Plaintiff's Exhibits 6A and 6B are received without objection.
And here we have more photographs. It's a bit of a stack, so if you want to take a moment to look through all those.
Let's actually increase this. Who did that? Who did that? Oh, hi. Hi, Bubba. How are you? How are you today, buddy? Hopefully you're doing well. Don't worry, you didn't miss much of the Twitch stream. Twitch stream hasn't been live that long. Not bad, not bad. I'm kind of intrigued by this court case because it's been a little spicy already today. On top of, oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. I have crowd control live, right? I think I have a session active now. Whoops. Whoopsies. Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. I don't blame you on that. It's an easy way to like make sure you still get your streak if you're not able to come back. I get it. I was actually kind of doing that with Jake last night. Not for a streak, just because I wanted to watch. I miss watching Jake's. Oh fuck, he's live. After I ended, I was like, oh shit. Let's go watch him.
Now, are these all photographs that you took at the scene?
Yes.
Are
Okay.
they true and
So
accurate?
we need to get our money back up.
Yes.
State moves to introduce exhibits 7A through S into evidence.
Mr. Sand, if I just may ask, are these the ones that were in that blue trapper keeper?
Yes.
No objection, Your Honor.
Hey, could you count that up? Because I'm
19.
19.
Shelf
These
it.
exhibits 7A through 7S will be received without objection. You did say no objection, right, Mr. Sand?
Yep, no objection, sir.
Okay, salmon though. Salmon.
So what happened next?
Oh, thank you. Oh shit.
Well, we started as
We
we
built
were taking
this.
pictures. We're
And we'll get our
taking items and
fishing
evidence, and,
market back up. Thank you.
I'm photographing them, taking the items, and turning them over to Sergeant Sunbakken. He's creating the inventory.
So you're taking things that you believe could be of evidentiary value?
Yes.
What exactly does, when you look at a scene like that,
Oh,
make something...
that's because I didn't change my fucking category. I'm waiting. For the record, I'm waiting for the Bazaar servers are not back up yet. We're playing Sea Skylines till then, but I can change the category.
Proximity to, in this case, the victim.
Car control should be active now.
I mean, one item in there is a knife. That would be something of interest. Anything that the victim or suspect or other people may have had, I'll call it contact with.
So
Things that seem unusual.
you mentioned the knife. And there's a photograph of the knife that was just entered into evidence.
There's more than one photograph of the knife.
Were there other knives located?
No.
Was there blood on that knife?
Yes, there was what appeared to be blood on the knife.
You've seen blood on things before in your life, not just necessarily as an officer, but in your everyday life?
Yes.
I mean,
Is that
obviously.
what blood looks like on something?
Yes.
Okay. You had an opportunity to actually see the body of Anita Knudsen?
Yes.
Yeah. Was it apparent how she died?
Well, when we got there and entered the room, she's laying on her belly or on her chest, I'll call it. And we'd lifted, she had a nightgown on, or not a nightgown, but a bathrobe on. We lifted the bathrobe looking for any indications of any marks or anything on the back, but didn't find any. And after we had taken everything that was kind of like on top of the body, we brought in a big sheet of like white paper.
So
And
like butcher paper?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yay wide.
there's those
Parchment
rolls that are
paper.
about, like I suppose 4 feet wide.
Yep, that would be butcher paper.
I don't know how big a roll it is, 200 feet or whatever they are. We brought in a piece of that from the PD and laid it down, and we rolled the body onto the paper.
And why did you do that?
We're trying to preserve any evidence that might be on her, so it would fall on the paper rather than in the carpet or whatever kind of flooring they have.
So in an apartment like that,
Okay.
there's carpeting in this apartment.
Mess the kiddo.
I couldn't swear
No worry.
that, but
No worry, I'll be here. I'll be here. We're not going anywhere.
It didn't.
I got all the court shit today, and then we're playing games with Bean later.
What happened next?
So
We rolled her onto the paper, and we could see a wound, like at her sternum on the left side of the sternum. I would say it was slightly above, like the nipple line.
okay, so let's see. Should be able to buy Fish Market.
Clear that was a stabbing?
Yes,
Why was it clear?
it appeared to be a knife wound.
Okay. So that would make the knife that was found potentially very valuable.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put it there.
The investigation.
Dr. Smith was our county coroner. I called him and spoke to him, and he authorized releasing the body to the state medical examiner. We called community ambulance, and Cliff Black came and responded. And
Was he with the ambulance?
yeah, Cliff was a longtime ambulance driver.
Please continue.
People don't know that though.
He
You have
took
to
the
like.
body and the bedding and the piece of white paper and loaded it up and took it to the medical examiner's office in Bismarck.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Now, as part of the investigation, was a screen brought to your attention?
A screen, yes.
A window screen specifically.
Yes.
How did that come to your attention?
Well, there was not a screen in the window when we arrived. And
We'll build a campus here soon.
Expected the screen to be there?
yes.
Okay.
Now, what's our schooling looking like over here?
And it's my understanding that the maintenance guy at the apartment complex had picked that screen up. I believe it was the morning before. It was hanging on the window. And
Did he take you to the screen?
he did. It was in his shop.
Okay. And you saw the screen in the shop?
I did.
Okay. All right. So that's better. Unfortunately, it's better information than what the resident manager at the time had given, information wise. All right. Do not have accurate
Showing you as
situation.
It's 8A and 8B. Do you recognize those photos?
Yes.
Are you the one that took these photos?
Yes.
Are they true and accurate copies of those photos?
Yes.
State moves to enter 8A and 8B into evidence.
No objection.
States Exhibit 8A and 8B will be received without objection.
What did you do next with your involvement in the case?
Put that there.
Well, let me back up a bit.
All of
Yeah,
that.
back up a little bit because
Did you take that screen into evidence?
yes.
Okay. And why is that?
Well, it appeared to be possibly a point of entry or exit. The screen was cut. It was damaged. It was bent.
Now, at this point in an investigation, and we're talking about more investigations broadly, not necessarily this one, do you have all the answers in the case?
No.
So you're collecting that because you think it might be valuable, not necessarily because it is valuable.
Yeah.
Okay, so it gains us 3K.
Now we've got that established. What happened next in your involvement in the investigation?
Well, we're kind of jumping around here because the pictures of the screen and some of the pictures of the outside were taken like Tuesday morning on the 5th. And going back to the 4th when we were processing the scene, and Black came
Okay,
back by,
so we don't have enough buyers for the oil.
process the scene and take things that we thought would be of evidentiary value.
Right.
Go ahead.
Oh, you said some of those pictures were taken the next day,
Yes.
but they still are a fair, accurate representation of what, say, the outside of the building would look like and things of that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, please continue.
After we kind of cleared the scene, but had patrol keep the scene secure, and we left for the night and started again the next day, and that's where some of these pictures were taken, were the next day.
So what happened next in the investigation at that point?
I know
Now-
that we photographed some footprints that were outside the window. I at least attempted to make a cast of those footprints, sprayed fixer on them and poured plaster of Paris in them. And
Office sound. Cool.
we did come up with something anyway.
Were you able to figure out whose footprints those were?
Yeah,
Okay.
from looking at the photographs, and we compared the maintenance guy's shoes, and it was not his. And at one point, I had Mr. Knutson bring his shoes in.
You're talking Gordon Knutson?
Yes, bring his shoes in, and they matched his shoes, and he had been standing there at one point.
So he was standing right outside the window?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah, to fix the fucking screen.
Well, from there, we pretty much cleared it as a crime scene and left it unsecure, and kind of started interviewing people. Like,
Who did you interview?
lots of people. Michael Van was one of the early people.
Who was that?
Michael Van was a local guy, I suppose, early 20s. He knew Anita. He would have been the last person who had contact with Anita's phone anyway. There was text conversations going into like about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning into Sunday.
Sunday the 3rd.
Sunday the 3rd.
Okay. So the 3rd of June.
Yes.
Okay. Please continue.
Yeah, and Van told me that they were texting, and he was at his buddy's place, Jason Rudd. It sounded like there was a party going on there. And at some point, everybody left the party, and
Shall need more housing.
McDonald's except for Michael Van.
Did you look into Michael Van as a suspect?
Yes.
And what was the
Okay.
result of the investigation into Michael Van?
He denied any involvement. We could not really tie any physical evidence into Michael Van that I'm aware of.
So because there was no evidence of his involvement, you cleared him, so to speak?
I guess as clear as anybody was.
Okay. In the course of your investigation, did you obtain the defendant's phone bill from the time period of May 24 of 07 to June 23rd of 07?
Yes.
How did you obtain that phone bill?
Via subpoena.
And who did you subpoena?
I know we subpoenaed Alltel, and it's not coming to me. But they were for different phone records.
We got to figure it out.
Do you recognize that document?
Yes,
And what is that document?
that is phone statement from Altel for Ms. Rice's phone.
Okay. Now, there are some alterations to that bill, are there not? There's a photocopy of a posted note on the front page, and there's some highlighting.
There is.
Other than that, are there any alterations to the information inside?
Not that I can see.
Okay. And the post-it note of the photocopy of the post-it note on the front, does it appear to obscure anything, any information behind that?
Yeah, there's some letters that are obscured.
Okay. But this is the phone bill that was obtained from Altel for Ms. Rice.
All right.
Yes.
The state moves to enter this into evidence, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand.
Now,
Object, Your
can
Honor.
I?
Paging through it, there's highlighting and alterations on it. Mr. Strandberg's not the custodian of this record through Altel, and he didn't even know that's who was subpoenaed. So it doesn't seem like it's
Oh,
a record that was.
this is what I need to
properly
do.
kept. It's got highlighting in multiple places on it as well. So we're going to check.
What's the exhibit number or letter?
It's Exhibit 18, Your Honor, and it's 6 pages long.
You heard the objection. Do you want more information?
True.
Unfortunately, this is the best evidence. This is the only
Hey, what's up, crazy? How you doing, buddy?
We do not have someone from Altel. We have the witness here that is willing to testify and did testify that this is the document that we received from Altel. So I believe the foundation has been laid.
Hopefully you're doing well. Hey, you know what? It'll be full of chaos because we're doing repo later with chaos. So we just kind of stopped doing. We switched from lethal to repo.
Do you have any cross-examination?
I do, sir. Thank you.
Good to see you. Give me all the chaos right now. I mean, we're watching boring court footage in the process too.
Lieutenant Strandberg?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you. Now, you took photographs at the scene.
Yes,
You photographed a knife.
I did.
Plenty of chaos. We have had. Okay, so that's an oil refinery plant. Do I not have the plumbing? I just realized what happened. Holy shit. Okay.
Trying to keep them separate. The exhibits.
Am I just not? I need more. Okay. Hey. Wait. Oh no. We lost our castle.
And I noticed you reference taking a picture here.
Sag, dude.
It says 7J.
That's a bummer.
What do you see in that picture?
I see the knife on a piece of
That's a bummer.
legal pad, paper, and a scale.
All my sewage getting fixed.
Like a ruler.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Anything particular about the knife you see?
I think
Mr. Sand, are you on mute?
Is you having trouble picking me up? Can you hear me now? Is there another one of these mics I can use?
I don't.
Seems to be a recurring problem.
He's just really bad with those
This
mics.
works, I'll just hold it like this.
Time to flood the city, baby. Yeah, well, we'll see. Oh, you sped it the fuck up.
The lock is
Nice.
right here.
Indian with the headdress?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a medallion Indian with a headdress.
Okay. And you took a picture of the other side of this knife as well,
Yeah.
correct? Is that this exhibit 7I?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
7J, where that Indian with the headdress is what do you see on this side, 7I?
The medallion's missing.
Okay. It's not there. Okay. Did you
Trying to
any
manage my
photographs?
oil still.
There should
On
be
the bed
some
here.
on the bed.
Destroy those.
Greg, I'll just have you run through 7C through 7H here one more time.
Okay.
All right. Now we just got to kind of get some of our.
Thank you, sir. And then those
Okay, so what's this? Land value.
On the other side.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to keep these up there, or do you mind if I put them down here?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
If I need to reference again, I'll ask.
Back up. All right, thanks. You have the screen there, I see.
Yes.
Before you got here, I had some trouble with this photo, so I appreciate you having it. So this is 8A, 8B, correct?
I'd have to read, but
Okay, sorry.
yes.
Okay. Do you recall seeing that screen?
Yes.
Where did you see it?
It was in, I'll call it Mr. Nell's shop.
Mr. Anel, and he's the maintenance man.
Yes.
Okay. You were in that shop,
Yes.
and he was with you.
Yes.
Okay. I know it was a long time ago.
We're going to try to shut that. Yeah, well, I'm pausing it too.
Brought that screen in the shop.
Doesn't help that I'm
Said
pausing
he
it.
had, sounds like he, in the mornings, he kind of takes a stroll.
Maybe it
around
didn't
the
register. I
complex.
don't know.
And he saw it hanging there, and a pretty common thing for tenants to lock themselves out of their apartments
Okay.
and like break in through a window or something.
Yeah.
So he took it from the window.
Okay. He took it from the window itself.
Yes.
We had testimony earlier that it was found 100 yards from that building. Does that make any sense to you?
Does not make any sense to me.
Okay. Did he say it was still in the window when he found it?
Should help the land value a bit.
That, yes. That's my memory.
And he took it out of the window.
Yes.
Do you notice anything?
Ah, thank you for the money, Bobo.
Well,
I appreciate it. Keeping us afloat right now.
It's been cut.
While we increase our land value back up. Too
Yeah.
big.
Has it been cut once or twice, does it look like?
I'm going to describe it as like a backwards L-shaped cut.
Okay, I'll take that. Thank you. How long were the scene, Mr. Strandberg?
Ooh, thank
Well,
you.
it was June 4th. And
We're about
I got
to
the call.
grab that here in just a second. I gotta.
Okay.
And we
Where's
were
that? There it
there
is.
Till after dark. So.
Okay, so that should help with that.
Yes, there was a lot of follow-up.
Yes,
Okay, did you conduct any interviews?
I did.
Do you remember talking to a woman named Rebecca Ehrman?
I do.
Do you remember her telling you about a Native American man with a bloody shirt running from the scene?
She said that there was a Native American man running, I believe, on 4th Street, northbound, and that he had some sort of stain on his shirt. She said it could have been blood.
Remember how tall she said he was? 6'2", does that sound right?
I think 6'2".
Uh-oh. Thunderstorm.
early 20s,
Fuck.
200 pounds.
Meteorologists are issuing a thunderstorm warning.
We did
for
identify
coming
that
days.
person.
Okay.
Citizens are advised
All right.
to stay in
Where you got this game's got to stop snapping me around. This is a fucking annoying.
indoors until the storm has passed.
Yes.
Did you talk to Mr. Vivier?
About this,
Why am I losing so much money here? What is
I was present when he was interviewed, I believe.
Okay.
is my what's
He was represented.
what is this last
by
part?
memory at that time.
What is costing me $6,000
and
fucking
he
dollars?
denied any involvement.
Is it the ore that I? What?
How long did that interview go on for?
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's 2K.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where it took place?
It was in the. Well, my memory
The
is. it was
thunderstorm
in the
doesn't have to wait while I figure this out.
Okay. Do you know who the attorney
Yeah,
was?
what the
You know
fuck is bleeding
Maybe Ryan
out
Sandberg.
money right now?
local Minot defense attorney?
Yeah.
No, because the new power plant shouldn't be. It's only costing me 800. The problem is it's not the power plant that's costing me money.
Involving this incident?
Like it's not power. It's not. It's literally this. I don't
had
know.
Investigated a case.
I don't know what this is.
2 or 3 weeks earlier. It was a.
Oh, unique factories. I actually know what's happening
I'm
now.
going to object as to relevance.
I see what's happening. Okay.
I'm asking about his investigation.
I see what happened.
He
Yeah,
said
yeah,
he
yeah,
told
yeah.
you What led to Mr. Vivier's investigation and the questioning of him?
No, that's not what
Okay.
you're asking. You're asking about a different case.
He's telling me about a different case as the result of the investigation. I'm sure that's why they looked into Mr. Vivier.
Motherfucker.
Residents
I'm going to sustain the objection.
Motherfucker. Okay. It's just no. This is. It's dead. This game is literally dead now. You guys actually just killed me
harm's way and
because I'm not gonna be able to survive
I
this.
had investigated Mr. Vivier on a GSI.
I have sewage backup now through my entire city. Yeah. Yep. Doesn't.
Now, I don't know if everybody knows what gross sexual imposition is, but in North Dakota, that's a rape case. Would you say that?
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel is testifying at this point.
Why? Why is this doing this stuff? I don't understand.
A juryman would call it a rape.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Just call it what it is, dude. Jesus Christ, we're adults here.
Remember anything particular about this GSI case?
Y'all are just gonna have to be patient while I fix this. That's what happens. You guys cause a bunch of destruction. Y'all have to wait for me to fix it. Sorry.
Like at those apartments, there's like 3 buildings, 320, 324, and 300, 320, and 324.
Well, I appreciate the money.
27th Avenue Northwest.
Take a look at it.
Sure. You want me to stand up? Come over there?
Sure.
Main thing is I need power to get over to this side of the city, so then that will fix the sewage problem instantly. Once I fix the power lines, I think that's actually the problem. The moment.
Which crime scene?
So easier problem than thought.
You guys, if you're going to stop, if you're going to share that mic, you need to actually use it. So
Yeah. Cause no, you're fine.
This is where Anita Knudsen's was. That was tested.
It's fine.
Right around here.
Yes.
Thank you. And could you point
I will survive. I just gotta find my fucking industries and find my.
Started here, and they drove to a park that's kind of over here, and that's where the rape happened.
But the party where this took place, you're saying, was right up here.
Yes.
Sir,
Your
that's
Honor,
all.
I'm going to
Thanks.
renew my objection. There's no connection to this case that laid so far. There's no foundation to this.
wrong. Your objection's overruled. You did lay foundation for it.
Oh,
I show you a certified record of this GSI case. Just to confirm we're talking about the same.
oh
person.
my fucking god, game! Stop fucking staying snapped onto
Your Honor, I
things.
have no idea what a certified record of a GSI case means.
It's the criminal judgment. I'm happy to show
Yeah, I'm sorry. Are you just too stupid to understand your job on that one, boss man? Okay, why can I not destroy this? Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, major disasters end up doing that in different ways. We just gotta fix it. It doesn't take that long. I'm also trying to like focus on what's going on in this court case. So
Let me take a look at this.
snapping me, it's snapping around a bunch too. Like this sucks. I didn't have it on. I just can't. I can't do it now because it's on fire. What happens if I turn that off? I don't think it was costing me. It was costing me a couple grand for material, right? I should see like close to 2 grand, 3 grand. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, we're doing better now. It was a furniture thing. Fucking up our shit. Been record here. Listen. Oh, yeah, okay. That explains why I'm now at 5K. I was like, I thought because what's this supposed to be at? Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure I was at like 8K. Okay, that makes sense. I see what you said, man, with the snap. Okay. All right, while this goes, I'm fixing my fucking screen layout real quick while they're doing all this. Oh, there we go.
Steve had a quick second to look at that.
Also, how are you doing, Sully?
It's a criminal judgment.
You joined in, and then I didn't ask you how you're doing.
Ron Vivier.
And I'm a bad friend for it. I'm gonna just say it.
It would appear to be, yes.
What is the? Let's try tourism.
Your Honor, I'm going to offer this criminal judgment as a self-authenticating document as a certified record.
Mr. Nelson?
Your Honor, there is no relevance to that GSI and this case, so I object on
What's
that
the
ground.
exhibit number?
1A, or I guess A, Your Honor. Defense A.
It would be B. So this would be Defense Exhibit B.
Sure.
And Mr. Sand, you believe there's relevance to this?
I do. I believe, as we're pointing
I don't.
forward as to where this happened, as to the reason Mr. Vivier was being questioned by detectives when this happened, I believe it's very relevant.
Your objection is sustained. It's not relevant.
Okay.
Make sure you don't take it with you.
You want me to leave it up here, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, only the judgment was offered. There's quite a few more pages than just the judgment.
I can pull just the judgment.
Yep, just the judgment.
Nope, that's fine. Petro.
Mr. Sand, how many pages is B?
Is there a way to show the luxury?
I do. Appears to be 7 pages. Thank you.
Like,
Mr. Strand,
I'm trying to find the specific
you investigated Mr. Vivian's GSI case we established.
factory.
Did that lead your department or lead you to any connection to investigating him in this case?
He was certainly somebody we should have looked into.
Yeah. I mean, given the proximity of where we were pointing to up here where it all happened, right?
And other things.
What other things?
Well, I guess he wasn't involved in that, so no. I'll take that back.
What the fuck is happening in this?
How close in proximity were the dates?
I would say 3 weeks.
Problem is, I don't know where my other fucking factories
How many
are.
other associates of Mr. Vivier that you came across during your investigation?
During this investigation?
One of Ms. Knudsen, yeah.
No. We're talking this investigation, not that investigation.
The one of Ms. Knudsen here, sir.
Yes.
It doesn't help it's fucking night out. I need it to be day.
Devin Hall.
So I can literally see my fucking things. But I'm just I'm gonna bleed money, and unfortunately, I think. Maybe not.
I did not. I was not really involved in the investigations into Devon Hall.
Who was that? Who was?
I don't know.
But other officers at Minot PD.
Yes.
Did you talk to a woman named Felicia Campbell? I know.
I remember it from my notes, but I don't remember the conversation.
I got you.
Dude, these people are really just kind of slacking when it comes
Very
to.
old report of yours. Will that help you refresh your recollection?
Yes.
So this is the report. This is where I'd like to have you look right here on 7507. Just to the end.
We'll see if this helps our neighborhoods. Okay. Park.
Okay.
Do you recall that conversation now?
Vaguely, maybe.
Do you remember what Ms. Tart might have said to you?
Objection, Your Honor. That would call for hearsay.
Do you remember what you learned?
Sustained.
Do you remember what you learned from talking to Ms. Campbell?
Objection, Your Honor. That would be relying on hearsay at this point.
It's not an objection.
Overruled.
She talked about
Jesus, they're going back and
with
forth.
some friends, and one of them being at least Drawn Vivier was there.
Did she say what, not talking to Jerron Vivier?
Objection, Your Honor. This is hearsay.
Wait.
Sustained.
Okay.
What club are we talking about?
The 101.
101. Okay. Did your investigation lead you to any information of Mr. Vivier going to the 101?
The only recollection I have is from what you just showed me.
All your records from, at the
That's
101
crazy that I go to bulldoze and it pulls the fucking camera.
They did.
I hate that shit.
Were you involved in any record pulling from those IDs being scanned?
Not that I recall.
Okay.
Oh,
What in your investigation led to you
okay.
realizing that Mr. Vivier went to the 101?
I guess my conversation with Campbell.
With this woman?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where Mr. Vivier is originally from?
He's from the Fort Peck Indian Reservation, I think Wolf Point, but I'm not sure if Wolf Point's where he's from, but he's from the reservation.
He's from Fort Peck Indian Reservation.
All right.
In your investigation, and you may not know this, but do you know where Devin Hall's from?
I believe he's from Fort Peck as well.
Thank you, sir.
Mm.
Colette, is he still on?
Do we need a new battery?
Thanks, Bubba. I appreciate it.
It's on.
Mr. Sand, perhaps if you put it on your tie, it might work better.
He's just having so many issues with that fucking mic. God damn. Okay. Y'all don't have to spend the coins.
Mr. Strandberg, do you recall receiving a voicemail from a Carla McGill in 2022?
Voicemail from who?
Carla McGill?
No.
Do you remember ever receiving a voicemail from Carla McGill?
No.
Okay.
In 2022?
No, I apologize. That's when the transcript started. It would have been in 2007, but I'm going to withdraw this line of questioning for later, sir.
So, okay. $250,000 to help out. I appreciate it. Because we will use that
Now, I know other
for some good shits.
investigators worked on this report, so if you don't know that, so
Including rebuilding part of our city here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That knife in particular?
This knife.
Not that knife in particular.
Okay.
I discovered the manufacturer and
Okay.
stuff
This
like
knife
that.
in particular.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't have water front over here, but we do here.
Now, just to make sure.
Why is this not
Senate
connected? I'm so confused.
interview with
I don't know
Mr.
why that
Goodyear,
didn't get.
Ryan Sandberg, defense counsel, was there. Did you ever have another occasion to talk to him during this investigation?
Duran?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Probably in the
Or not that I remember.
Probably in the other investigations, though, that we discussed earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, why are you not? This is what I'm talking about. Why would you put it lower when I've already had it bigger? I don't understand. Why you had to literally be retarded about it.
I don't have any further questions. I appreciate it, sir.
All right. So Nelson, do you
Okay.
have any direct?
Yes, Your Honor.
This needs to
Mr.
give
Sand,
us
the
power now.
Running man that
Why is this not? There we go.
will be retired,
Jesus Christ.
running near the scene there. Was that person you said was identified?
It was.
And how was that person identified?
Oh, I don't want
came
that.
forth. I don't remember his name. He was somebody out doing newspaper deliveries back when they did that. And he was running, finishing his route.
So it
This
was
is my memory.
an innocent reason for him being there and running in that moment.
Yes.
And they were trying to pin him as like
Visitor,
the one that did it.
he was looked
These
into.
people really know what they're doing. You know what? I wonder. I fucking wonder. Honestly, because
If we investigate him and
some of these people
find any evidence tying him to the case,
just don't have the answers. Like, don't get me wrong.
as much as anybody.
Don't get me wrong. Like, these people, it's been like 10 plus years, 15 years since these people have like looked at really a lot of this stuff most of these people. This guy he should have refreshed it more. Like, some of these people should have refreshed some of the stuff, especially the officers, refreshed some of their work. Yeah, it's just a lot of like,
Did you receive information that he wasn't even in Minot at the time of the murder?
Not that I remember.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand,
Nothing else, Your Honor.
is the officer here by subpoena? Mr. Nelson?
He is, Your Honor. He can be released.
Mr. Sand, any objections?
No, I just will note for the court that we have this officer under subpoena as well.
So do you wish to, and is he under your subpoena?
He's under our subpoena as well, I believe,
Do
for
you
next
wish to
week.
keep him then?
Yes, Your Honor, we're going to keep him.
So, Mr. Sandberg, you're still under their subpoena. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel, it's 6 minutes after 3 o'clock. I'd like to take a short break. Any objections?
Please, I need to go
No
potty.
objections, sir.
All right. Can you turn off well, you can leave the camera on for my admonition, I suppose. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're going to take a short break. Again, it's 6 minutes after. We'll reconvene at 20 minutes after, so about 14 minutes.
Okay, yes, we're gonna.
As I've promised, I would read to you. By the end of the trial, you will be tired of hearing it. But
All right, I'm using the restroom real quick while he reads that off.
any party or any attorney in this case concerning any matter, direct any questions, or discuss any problems you may have with the bailiffs. Do not read about, listen to, or view news accounts of this trial. Until you retire to deliberate your verdict, please do not discuss the case. Do not allow anyone to discuss the case with you. And do not use the internet or other electronic technology in an attempt to learn information about this case or communicate with your family, friends, or anyone else about this case. And please do not form nor express any opinions about this case. Once again, I will repeat this instruction to you at each recess. If I fail to do that, it will apply to you throughout the trial. All right, we'll be in recess till 3:20. Please turn off the cameras.
They got chicken and dumpling soup upstairs. Whew. Let me.
In any case, there's so much material that to get on top of it, I think it's an impossible thing. And I suppose that the men are going to be separated from the boys. So
Servers are still not up. Fuck, man. That's so annoying. Yeah, Bump. I just went to the bathroom, and Bump was making her chipotle, so she had made it for lunch. So it smelled really good. And I was like, "Oh, what'd you make?" She told me, and then I was like, "Oh, I'll have to make some ramen here later." And she goes, "Well, I got chicken and dumpling soup on the stove. I'm gonna let it cook for a couple hours." I was like, "All right, shit. I'll just have some of that, and I'll have ramen for dinner." Okay, so are we... Okay, we are making money. We're almost done leveling this up. Good. Because then we can get... offshore. Oh my god. Thank you. And it's one that I can, run a road up to. Sweet. I need...
Superimpose. Yeah, to superimpose things. Yeah.
Wait, let's do this. Thank you, crazy. Now we can get the castle back. And actually do something with it. What is this? Ultimate recycling plant. Okay. Move it there. It's not interfering with anything. Okay, and then I guess we still have to keep doing this luxury shit. I guess I don't know. Pond Park. That there. Sidewalk Cafe. Mac one there. We'll put riding stables there because it's like outside of the little city area. Maybe we'll get some of our industry back over here and recoup stuff.
If you've been paying too much Skrilla to get them fat beats for your flows, you need to get with that.
Okay, we need water and electricity over here.
Just dial 1-800 fed up with the bullshit. No, on the real though, just get with me.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know. I'll build a campus area in time. In time. I just want them to put the Bazaar servers back up, please. I just really want to play that today. Here's the industrial. And actually, truthfully, I think we're gonna put some. Okay, so this is all business. I was trying to put businesses over here so it would be a little bit more festive and nice. But here we are, you know? Tropical Gardens, we'll smack here. Okay. I guess we'll see what happens out of there. While we recover our best of sea plants right in the trash. Well, I mean, like that's how you design a good city. You look at a pile of trash. You see, this is how I need to build it. Nothing works together. Of course.
We are not smart enough to figure out life. I feel like life is tests, a bunch of tests, and we get a lot of answers right, but we're not going to figure it all out because if we figure it all out, there's no reason to be here. So it's all the way to the end, you know what I mean? So we can try as much as we want, and we can come up with a good routine to live by that could get us through and be happy with that routine in life. But, you know, so many people are just trying to figure out what it's all about, whether it's through Christianity, church, those people believe in that, or Islam, you know, Muslims believe in another way, but I feel like we really want to understand that it's beyond, it's not possible. Sometimes I think too much. It doesn't stop.
You know what I'm saying? If I didn't know you, if I never heard of you and I slammed your vinyl on, what would I do?
Not enough work. Oh, that's because we don't have shit for population right now. Yeah, we don't need it. Respectfully. I appreciate the power plant, but I think we're good on power right now. Yeah, we make twice as much power as we need to right now. Dropping our costs down a little bit. Okay, so how bad is traffic? Okay, that's all right. You know, it's Oh, great. That's just, I'm so bad at like making exits and entrance ramps and shit in this game. Just hurts my brain. Oh, we need highly educated and better educated ones. Okay. University. Okay. What is this? This is a police station. Let's move you. Right here. Oh, you're fine. Cool. University.
Bottles, pans, metal pipes, shakers, spoons, knives, anything like that. See, for sound effects, the idea was to get a conglomerate of primitive sounds. I don't have the sounds of today's technology in this particular CD.
Creative Arts Institute.
So I hope you buy it.
Maybe that will help fix that problem of not having enough educated workers. That Thanos, the Infinity Snap really fucked me. Bringing people in. What is costing me money now? Trash? Is it because I have the ultimate recycling thing over here? High school. Okay, I have recycling center there. Ah, here. 5K. Okay. Are we just not getting income? Is that what it is? Okay. We need, I think a tour. Okay, well, local organic produce. We'll do it here, and we will.
How's the sales on my record doing? Not too good today? It's all right. Sure, I'll survive.
I wonder, can we do it that way? Or we could just do. Still not up. I know. I literally have the bizarre server status just sitting on my Discord looking like right at it so I can see. Not enough buyers for products. Okay, so we need to store up stuff, but I'm negative money. Okay, so yikes. We are gonna need a loan here soon. I just like the Thanos snap actually fucked us because we sat so far low and it dropped our income because we weren't getting like tax money. Yeah, because like 31% of our, like 20 to 30% of our income is coming from shit. Okay, so our fishing industry is not doing great, but it's not costing us a lot of money. Okay. Oof. Reset of the month? Yeah, it's being a month. I don't want a new land right now because I can't set up new land. Can I get Oh,
Anything before I bring in
this game, this game's Almo approved? Fuck yeah. We love an Almo approved game.
on the record? Time is 22 minutes after 3 o'clock. We're back on the record. The parties are present along with counsel. The jury is not present. Mr. Nelson, you have some issue?
It's not so much an issue, Your Honor. Just need to, for the record. I guess we were under the impression that there was a recording at the bench when we had our sidebar, but Colette informed us that there is no recording. So we just need to do a brief summary for the record of the sidebar that took place in the last witness's testimony, Your Honor. It was about the report into Chief Klug, Your Honor. Its relevance.
No.
That was my recollection, at least.
I remember your recollection, Mr. Nelson, but I'm not in agreement that what we did was to be put on the record. I addressed it afterwards by addressing the request, the objection, and whether or not the witness could testify. That's what we discussed. So my response on the record was what we did at the bench.
Then that works, Your Honor. I just want to make sure there's a clean record is all. And that's,
so do I.
Appreciate that.
And so do I.
That's the only thing I had, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
Okay. All right.
Uh-oh.
You can call.
Okay.
Dan, did you have anything?
You can call in the jury, please. And thank you for the cameras.
Yeah, you know what though? I'll give them that. This is that. Like the people running the cameras, I'll give them that. They've been doing pretty good about that stuff. They've been aiming it up for every jury entrance and exit. They've been doing really well about the sidebars. I mean, like it doesn't really make a difference at the end of the day. Still, my friend, no worries. Enjoy away. They're still long, very much so going through court stuff. You're all good. now we
The
can.
jury is now present and seated. Mrs. Sorgan, do you waive roll call of the jury?
State witness roll call, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand, do you waive roll call of the jury?
We do, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Sorgan, you may call your next witness.
Your Honor, I'll be handling the direct on this witness. It's
All right.
David Goodman.
All right. Call David Goodman. Sir, if you'll come up here, she's going to swear you an oath, please.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Hey.
Seat over there, please.
Okay, let's hope that this will get us our.
Once you're situated, officer, just have the mic aimed at your chin, please. All right, Mr. Nelson. You
Oh,
can proceed.
we'll work on the park
Say
later.
the record, please.
David Goodman.
And since, like the previous gentleman that have been testifying, you haven't testified in a while in district court, could you spell
I'm
your last name
smoking.
for us, please?
Juice?
Goodman.
In June of 2007, were you employed at the Minot Police Department?
Yes, I was.
What were the dates of your employment with the Minot Police Department?
Started in May of 1990, and I retired in June of 2021.
Yeah.
And could you give us a rundown of your
We gotta have my
training?
camera off when we do it. YouTube.
The 31 years of law enforcement experience. I started
almost
in
certain.
dispatch. I was in that for about a year and a half. I was a police officer. Went to the police academy in Bismarck. Attended that and graduated from that. Numerous hours of police training on various police topics,
Okay.
including investigative topics, and college, high school.
We won't ask you for the graduation dates in high school.
Okay.
So you were a licensed peace officer during that period of time?
Yes.
Okay. And on June 4th of 2007, what was your role with the Minot Police Department?
I was a sergeant in the investigations division.
Okay. Now, was that your role through the end of your career as well?
It was, yes.
Okay. How did you come to be involved in this case?
All right, so
I was
specifications
off duty,
fixed us.
and I received a call
Saved us.
from Lieutenant Rob White. I believe he was the shift commander that night, and he stated that detectives were out at the scene, and they were asking for additional manpower.
right.
So I came in to assist with that.
And when you say shift commander, does that just mean the person who's basically in charge of the day-to-day operations of the police department in that moment?
At that moment, and the patrol shift that is out in the street, yes.
Okay. So did you then respond to for that incident that you were called out on?
I did, yes.
Okay. And where did you respond to?
I responded initially to the police department. At that time, our vehicles were left at the police department. So I went there in my own vehicle.
Timber.
I got the gear and stuff that I needed to go up to the residence.
When you say the gear, what do you mean by that?
Well, just like my radio, my call-out bag, just my bag that would have stuff that I may need while I'm up at the scene.
Okay. So you drove your personal vehicle to the police department and got a vehicle that was owned by the city?
That's correct.
Okay. And then you drove that vehicle to the scene?
Yes.
And what happened when you arrived at the scene?
I met with the officers that were on scene, and they kind of briefed me on what they had up there at that point. I looked over the scene. I had brought a crime scope that we had used at that time up to the scene.
What is a crime scope?
It's just it's a light that's used to try and detect certain fibers or fluids that might not be seen by the naked eye.
So a layman, is that the sort of thing that might be used to look for?
Okay,
say,
we're starting to
blood
get back there
or
now.
Vomit or something like that, bodily fluids?
That's correct.
Okay. What happened next?
We had kind of an ongoing discussion amongst the investigators that were there. We looked at the body. We saw Anita Knutz's body laying on her bed.
Could you describe that for us, please?
She was laying. She had a robe, very
We'll do
lightly
that for
colored
now.
robe on.
That should cost
And,
us less
she was
money?
flopped over, kind of sitting on her legs, and her head was near the foot of the bed, and she was
Yeah, I need. Most of it is that I needed a university and stuff because when you look at education,
back of the robe,
our elementary schools are not doing good.
somewhere on her back. Excuse me.
We have far too many that are not educated at all yet. So,
Again, what we were going to do.
well, once our income gets to the point where we can throw down
Look at her body closer just to see
community schools, we need 12K. So.
Possibly the cause of her death, and go from there. So we had
We'll get
another
there quick.
detective that was on her way up to the scene, and she was bringing us some paper that we would use to lay down on the carpet just to keep it as to try not to contaminate the scene.
Is that the butcher paper that we're talking about, like 4 feet wide, the rolls that are
Yes.
200 feet or whatever?
Yeah, I always thought it reminded me of what every grade school has with the rolls of paper that they rip for art projects and stuff. So that's exactly what.
Butcher paper.
We
Probably not a great term for this.
And just to
But,
determine that there wasn't any
whatever.
evidence that we wanted to collect from there, and once Sergeant Murphy was on scene with that paper, she ripped off a chunk and laid it down on the floor so we could put Anita from the bed down onto that paper. So that's what we did, and at that point we were able to get a closer look on what injuries she had. I noticed a stab to what would be her right
I forgot I had
chest area,
flavored water,
and a stab,
caffeine water.
or what appeared to be a stab wound to the middle of her sternum. So it seemed obvious that that was more than likely her cause of death.
And how were you able to determine that they were stab wounds?
You could just kind of see the cut in the skin, and I've seen stab.
Oh my god, I was going to make the joke of, oh, you could tell it's a stab wound by the way that it's,
Yes.
Okay.
the way that they're in the body. But,
So,
it's like, you can tell it's an Ashpin by the way it is.
there was no
way it looks.
injury on her back, so we were trying to figure that out, and the best I could
Nature.
tell is it looked like the stab wound to her right chest area had run down and kind of back around onto her back as she was maneuvering to try and get up or whatever she was doing at that point when she ended up face down. Face down, excuse me.
And that's how you saw her, was face down when you came in?
Yes.
Okay. What happened next?
We took pictures of the scene, and we had assigned one of the investigators that was there as
Okay,
evidence
we
custodian.
need to.
He kind of set up an area out in the kitchen, living room area where any evidence that was collected was brought to him, and we just kind of proceeded with that at that point.
So a separate spot for collection.
Well, a separate spot just to bring all the evidence to.
Okay.
Just an area that would be kind of away from the scene of the homicide, but yet still in the apartment, so we could just kind of take everything to that one officer. So
Let's try that and see if we can
So just for purposes of inventory.
try to
Correct.
make more money.
Catalog, make sure that it.
'Cause we're like-
recorded, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
We began to take pictures, and I don't remember exactly who took pictures, but began to take
Alright.
pictures of the apartment. I noticed that her room, I just kind of took a mental note that her room seemed to be not in disarray. There were things set up on her dresser and stuff that weren't tipped over, so it didn't appear that there was any
Nope.
sort of a scuffle. I was trying to
Okay.
see if, in my mind, if I could come up with a motive, what took place or what had happened. I noticed her purse was sitting there, had cash visible in it, so it didn't appear to be a robbery or a burglary or anything like that.
Now, you've seen other crime scenes in your history as a detective with the Minot Police Department.
Yes.
And you said that this one, things weren't disturbed.
Things did not appear to be disturbed to indicate that there was a scuffle of any kind.
Okay, let's see if this cuts down out all of this.
Things to those that usually indicate that a scuffle, a fight of some kind had occurred.
Yes, I've seen that over my career where things are tipped over,
No.
messed up.
So the absence of that indicates that that we don't know if there was or was
I mean,
not,
it-
but there's no evidence of a fight.
It's
I did
helping.
not see any evidence of a fight or a
But I don't know if that's from
Please continue.
the oil production.
got to be a point where there was people gathering outside the apartment. So I made contact with them outside.
I wonder what happens if I do
Talked
this.
with them a little bit. We had a
Will this
discussion amongst
increase our
us
production?
that, two of us would go down to the police department and start doing interviews there. Trying to
Okay.
get them away from the scene and in a more organized area. I
I'll be
believe
damned.
That was Detective Barnard and Sergeant Nancy Murphy that were going to go to the police department to meet with witnesses or friends or family that were gathering at the apartment. I talked to a couple of females outside the apartment who stated they were friends of Anita, and I asked them to go to the police department and ask for Detective Barnard.
Now, were you there on scene when community ambulance came for the body?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and describe that process for us, please.
I had, not too long before that, I had met with Anita's aunt and the gentleman that was with her.
I need workers.
They were at the scene, and she stated that she wanted to remain there
Excuse me.
until Anita's body was removed from the scene. I told her that I felt that that was close because we had, I believe, dispatch reach out to community ambulance, and I knew that they were on their way up
Okay.
there. By that time, it was getting pretty late. It was pushing, I think, towards midnight, maybe 11:30 to midnight. So they did arrive on scene with the community ambulance vehicle. We had, again, discussed amongst ourselves that we wanted somebody to make a positive identification of Anita, somebody that knew her. So I went back out and I spoke with her aunt and the gentleman that was with her, and they both stated they'd be willing to do that. But again, the gentleman with her said that he would be the one to do it, and that he had known her for approximately 15 years, I believe. So he came in. By that time, community ambulance had been into the apartment, and we assisted them in putting her into a body bag. And Gurney moved out to the living room, and I unzipped the body bag enough just so he could see her face, and he said right away that he was 100% sure that was Anita.
So he identified the victim of the homicide as Anita Knudsen.
He did, yes.
Okay. What happened next?
Okay.
At that point,
Well,
her body was removed from the scene. We continued to process the scene and collect.
God damn it,
any
my
evidence
lights
that
flickered.
was of any
Just a heads up, chat.
possible evidentiary value. And
Okay, so
I had,
what if we?
also been asked by one
What's
of
our
the other
major
investigators
budget
to,
here?
make contact with the maintenance man.
Killer
who's
expense
standing
that we can
outside
cut
and,
down on. Nope.
And visit with him about
What is
Anita's window and the
killing
screen
us right
in the
now?
window and just kind of what he knew about this. So I, at some point in all of that, I did go out and meet with him.
Okay, you know what? Doesn't matter right now. We'll deal with it later
When
because
the body was
Bizarre
still
servers are up.
at the scene prior to being transported away from there by community ambulance. Did Nicole Rice come to the scene during that period of time?
I believe she was outside the residence, but she was not inside at all. No.
So she would have been outside the residence, and you testified a moment ago that Anita's body was put into a body bag?
Correct.
Like the black plastic that we see on TV?
Yes.
Can you see into that through that black plastic?
No.
If you could, you wouldn't have had to unzip it for the identification.
Correct.
Right? So the defendant could not have seen what Anita looked like because the body was in the bag the entire time it was transported to the...
Objection, Your Honor. He's testifying.
Sustained.
Could she have seen the body at that point?
No.
What happened next in the investigation?
As I was indicating, I went out and I made contact with the maintenance man, Marty Arnell, and I asked if he'd provide me with a recorded statement, and he said that he would. So we had our crime scene van there, and it was just kind of a convenient spot to go. That was just away from everybody else that was gathering. So we went inside the van, and I obtained a recorded statement about what he had found that morning and just kind of his involvement in this.
Was he cooperative with you?
Very cooperative, yes.
And when you were in your career as a detective with the Minot Police Department, have you had cause to sometimes to figure out if someone's being deceptive with you?
Yes.
Was there anything to indicate that Mr. Arnell was being deceptive when he was speaking?
I don't know. I mean, like maybe this guy has been trained for that, but I don't know about anything else. Anybody else?
Collected all that evidence. We ended up taking it out to the crime scene van, and we eventually transported that to the police department, where we took it from the crime scene van to the police department crime lab areas where it was stored for a while.
You can do that. Those are easy dailies.
And we chose to store it there just because it was easy access for us investigators while this was still a very active investigation.
Okay. Was the scene itself secured overnight?
The scene was secured, and we didn't release the scene at all. We kept an officer there overnight just to make sure that it was protected.
Did you return to that scene the next morning?
Yes, I did.
And what was the purpose for returning to the scene?
I returned to the scene with Jason Sunbakken. He and I went up there to finish up some measuring to see if there was anything of any evidentiary value that we would have missed the night before. I don't recall.
Hi, Nikki.
I'm not sure on that, though.
How are you?
Our main purpose.
Okay, so hopefully the snow will end this evening.
So he could do a decent diagram of the apartment and the scene.
Were you
Right.
with him? The diagram?
Yes, I was.
Permission to approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
Now, Detective Goodman have handed you a document. Do you recognize that document?
I do, yes.
Is that a true and accurate copy of that document?
Yes.
Is that the diagram that was created?
Yes, appears to be.
That's a one-page document, is that correct?
Yes.
State moves to enter Exhibit 10 into evidence, Your Honor.
Objection, Your Honor. He didn't show it to me on his walk-up. I asked him.
God damn it.
I don't know what he's showing to him. I'd just like to take a look at it.
You may.
Good to go. Thank you.
Okay.
Comments based on that, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Don't call me Bud.
No objection, Your Honor.
Plaintiff's Exhibit 10 is received without objection.
So that is the diagram of the apartment?
Oh,
Yes.
my
Show where
God.
Anita's body was found.
Yes, it does.
What happened next?
At that point, we were finishing up there. We had
Okay.
discussed with other investigators.
Hi, Nikki. I hope you're doing well.
Whether we needed to hold the scene any longer. We didn't feel we
I know you
needed
can't
to.
hear me.
We wanted Anita's roommate, Nicole Thomas, it was at the time.
Is that the defendant here today?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
Please continue.
We wanted her to come in and look at her apartment, basically, and see if she noticed anything that was out of the ordinary that she would know that we just weren't catching because we're not in there every day like she would have been.
So you would
Okay.
expect
And then,
a resident of that apartment to know more about that, something out of place, that sort of thing?
Yes.
Okay. So you brought the defendant there for that purpose?
We didn't bring her there. I think she met us there.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. And then
Interesting.
she came in and looked it over and didn't notice anything that was helpful to us as far as collecting evidence.
Was she asked if there was anything out of place or anything missing?
She wasn't asked that, but she walked to the area of her bedroom door and then, with a shocked announcement, stated that her iPod was missing.
And was that unusual to you?
I thought it was kind of strange. I thought it was a quick comment that she would make, just standing outside her bedroom door.
Damn. Okay, we don't have anything to work with there.
iPod was missing just that quickly.
So
I thought it was strange.
It was almost immediate, her saying that?
Yes.
Okay. What happened next?
At that point, then, we released the scene and then just went about the investigation. We had meetings, at least daily initially, to try and, as a group, come up with what needed to be done next, kind of a to-do list, if you will.
Okay.
Okay. We will upgrade Shadow Cloak.
Well, there was...
so we can get more boost.
I know at one point we got information that it appeared, and I think this information may have come from Anita's sister, but it appeared that she had a pair of light blue pajamas with ducks on them.
Blunt, Brett.
So I know I was part of that. We had found out that garbages in the area had been emptied on a certain date. And
Who did that one?
Still on a truck.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back, Crazy.
The city of Minot Sanitation, and we arranged a...
Okay, I'm closing, ending the crowd control session for now.
To see if we could come up with finding these...
We'll start back up when we play with Bean.
I worked with other officers that kind of joined me on that, since it's not really the best cast in the world.
That's not on that screen. Okay.
So we kind of did that as a team to try and make it...
Okay.
I suppose rank has its privileges.
Yeah. That'll be, I don't know when that'll be. It'll probably be in like 2 hours, whenever we're done with the court stuff. Mostly.
Did you
I give it another 2 hours left to court today.
I remember when the night...
It'll be a repo then, we're going to play.
I think I was finishing up the interview with Marty Arnell outside, and I remember just one of the investigators saying something that I could overhear. And
Okay. Let's go shop.
investigating it, I did look into it in different people that I had met with. And I'm not sure at what point of the investigation that was, but I did have some involvement in that, yes.
On the 6th of June...
Let's do this first.
Did you go to Wally's World of Knives?
Yes, I did.
And what was the purpose of that visit?
Purpose of that visit was just to show somebody that has knowledge on knives a picture of the knife to see if they could give us some direction and where to go with that.
And what did you learn about the knife there?
I learned that it was a cheap knife, that they're a dime a dozen at flea markets, and I think he had mentioned possibly
that's funny.
powwow maybe, because it had a Indian headdress symbol.
That's a little wild.
So it's a very common knife.
He didn't really say common, but he just said that they're cheap, but I mean that they would have been probably sold in bulk.
Okay.
They're of lower quality.
Did you go through any phone messages involved with this case?
I did, yes.
What phone messages did you go through involved in this case?
I went through the phone messages on Anita's phone.
And did you take photographs of those messages?
I did, yes.
Ooh. That's gonna be handy. Okay. Pick a small weapon. Hey, free upgrade. Yo upgrade. Okay. Take econ. +2 income. Jay Wilkes. That's right. We lose day 1 and 2 because we're just struggling to get some good jobs, but that's okay. Only day 2. Like, things, we don't start finding good shit until day 5, in my opinion.
Now, Detective Goodman, I'm handing you 2 sets of photographs. If you could take them out of the packaging there.
Sell that for now. I think we do this.
That set?
Boost that.
Yes.
And what are those photographs of?
Just photographs of messages.
Look at this photograph.
From one is from her outbox, and one is just one of the messages.
Fair change.
From her phone.
Make some money.
Are these true and accurate photographs or copies of the photograph that you took of the victim's phone?
Yes.
State moves to enter this into evidence. It's 11A and B. Is that correct?
Yes.
Every time I do it, it makes me laugh. I just love the look at this graph. Just the different variations of that, where it just stops at graph.
Take those out and put them, please.
There's one that like bounces through 4 different things of the graph. So funny.
No objection, Your Honor. States Exhibits 11A and 11B are received without objection.
And if you could look at these, please.
Is my command.
Okay. I don't care right now. YouTube.com. Look at the. Oh no, it's this one. Look at this photograph. 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 Of a photograph. Photograph. Text me love. Your dance.
And that's 12A through O, is that correct?
Yes.
Exhibits 12A through O.
Photograph. Photograph. Okay, back to the actual trial. Oh, truffles. Okay, cool. Ooh, Per and Hank. That's a good one. That's a good thing to have around you. I'm a little jealous, but that's okay. I'll live. I'll deal with it, you know? It's just a burden I'll have to bear, I guess. You know? Here, we'll sell that.
You may. Make sure your microphones are off.
Okay. Ooh. Actually. Bam. Okay, let's try that. Temaniki. I'm so tired of seeing Crow's Nest at day 2 and 3. Like people having lifesteal weapons at right out the gate. It's just so annoying. It's so fucking annoying. Like here, let's make literally any weapon that you pick up like beat people. Love it. Okay, so I need to upgrade. I should have upgraded my silk scarf, but whatever. Whatever. It doesn't matter, to be honest. It just is annoying. It's just like one of my biggest fucking complaints. That's all. Like, why does this have to be the thing? First we make.
Kind of circle back to that in a minute, Detective.
Okay.
5.
Now, were you part of a reenactment at the scene?
Yes, I was.
What was that reenactment?
I wanted to go up to the apartment and reenact the.
Like, why is that a day 1 or 2 thing?
On whether or not somebody
Right?
entered that
Like,
window or exited the window of her bedroom as a point of entry and exit.
Now, how was that reenactment done?
We went up there.
I was going to try to get Crow's Nest now.
Spoke with the property manager to see if I could go up to that same apartment and do this reenactment. I wanted to videotape it, so we had our clerk from our office come up and run the video camera and videotape as we did that reenactment.
Because if I can get Crow's Nest, I'll actually be pretty content.
I brought
Oddly
with me
enough.
a picture of the cut screen, and they had replaced the screen in her bedroom window with a new screen. I had gotten permission from them to do this and to cut the new screen. So looking at the picture, I took a knife and I cut the screen the same way that the screen was cut in Anita's bedroom window on the.
We didn't get it.
During the time of the homicide.
4 seconds.
And what was
Also,
what did you learn from that?
Why the fuck is Yo-Yo 5 seconds now? That's so stupid.
I learned that after doing that, I didn't feel that it was possible that the person that committed the homicide entered or exited out the window.
Why is that?
I didn't. In doing it, we tested it with myself and with a Sergeant Thompson, who's
Economy
about
items.
my height, a little bit shorter, much skinnier, and then also with our clerk, and she's a shorter, petite gal, and just the screen was stretching and tearing in different areas than the original screen that we
Yep.
had from the.
Yep, which shows that it couldn't have been somebody coming from the outside. Let alone the fucking maintenance man. Like,
Minot Police Department?
2021.
Okay. Did this case basically become yours at a certain point?
It was at different times due to the retirement of Detective Barnard. He was the case agent initially. At different times, it was not necessarily assigned, but well, maybe assigned is the best word to use to a certain individual, just so they can be the point of contact for any questions or any new leads that might come in, or that they could certainly also run with the investigation if they had time.
So it's not so much that it was assigned to you, but that you were the only one that was there to do it.
I was, during my time, I remember it being assigned to one of the other investigators before me. Then I think he got promoted out of the office, and then it was assigned to me for a while. And then I would just, any calls about it or questions about the case would be directed to me.
Okay. Now, in your time as a detective with the Minot Police Department, were you contacted by podcasts, TV shows, that sort of thing for information on this case?
Yes.
What sort of entities were contacting you?
I know Crime Watch Daily contacted me. Dateline has contacted me.
Now, was there a certain point when the Minot Police Department kind of made the decision that they were going to shift from not necessarily cooperating to working with those folks?
We'll just do that.
There was. Yeah, and that was a different...
That's crazy that...
Justice, I believe the name of that one is.
And
they're like, that podcast came and saved the fucking case.
It got to a point where the administration, I believe, discussed it and decided that...
oh, fuck, I should have grabbed that.
We're at a
Steam
point
ladle.
of investigation where we felt that it could be brought to the prosecutor's office. I suspect that they decided at that time that they were going to try that.
Now, you were in the detectives part of the Minot Police Department for 14 years before you retired after the murder. Or roughly that, right? Because you retired in 2021?
Yes.
In that 14 years, did you have the time?
I don't think you are with this.
With other
no, I don't. Fuck my life, man.
During that time, yes, I had other cases to investigate, and cases came in at a steady pace daily.
I also need them to take a break for a second.
There was never really any downtime.
Some point, so you can take a pee.
I mean, we had to make a
last night on my junk run, I was at the end. Oh yeah, stun locking.
Where they were specifically only going to work on the
man. Getting stun locked is one of the most heartbreaking feelings in this game. I swear, man. You're like, all right, I'm doing pretty well here. I'm fucking rocking it. Okay, and then someone's like, actually, no. And you're like, wait, but and you're like, nope, sorry. It sucks, man. I fucking hate it.
It was just constant other cases coming in.
Okay, this.
Well. So at any point in those 14 years, did you yourself have the time to focus on this matter to give it your full attention?
No.
Okay, so how much is 16? That sucks. Fuck.
Now, in the 14 years that you investigated this case or were part of the investigation, were there other suspects that came up?
Up to over 1K a hit and
other people came up.
Yeah, and you got and they stun locked you so hard that you couldn't even get your shot off. I know exactly how that feels, and it's the fucking worst. when you're like, I got it. And then you're like, come on, please, just go off once. I just beg you. And then it's like it just freezes the whole time, and you're stunned. You're like, okay, fuck me, I guess. There's a weakness, but that's how you learn what counters your shit.
Yes. Okay. And how were
It says I got one shot off, but it couldn't get a second. Oh, half a second. Yeah. Yep. Those are like, you see it just like barely. You're like, come on, I just needed like 0.2 seconds left. Oh, it's heartbreaking. You get conditioned to it. But you learn from it too, though. Like, that's the thing, is you're like, okay, I was doing really well here, but this is where it kind of ended. Halted real fast.
Ways. I mean, we'd reach out. We'd try and do everything we could to meet with that person. There was various ways that they were
it was heartbreaking.
Eliminated or kind of checked off our list to where we didn't feel they were any longer a person of interest. I don't know that anyone ever reached the level of being a suspect, but we were able to, just to give a couple examples, one guy talked to us, denied it, then a couple days later came forward and said, I was in jail at that time from, I think, the 1st to the 10th of June, and
so it'd be pretty hard for somebody who was incarcerated at the time to do a murder like this.
Right, and I verified that he was. Another
That's
example,
crazy. Oh, yes.
Guy that gave information on a guy that lived on the East Coast, I believe, said he was a truck driver. We were able to have law enforcement make contact.
Some NPCs are X, so I won't fight them. It seems to
North Dakota.
Yep.
So yeah, there was nobody that.
Correct. Pig is primarily just weapons. You will find some burn pigs that will fuck you up, but you will always come across either a heavy one shot, like one single weapon, or a heavy poison build with Vanessa's. And dually, it's scaling like friends, like scaling friend machines, or burn every time.
That we were looking at that.
Dually's got some more options, I think, nowadays.
Bumped up to the level of being a suspect in this case.
Okay.
I need that.
During that investigation,
please.
Did you ever determine that it was not a suspect?
PCs? Yes. Yeah, you're good. Actually, here. No. I'm going to pause. Where's my Twitch? This site, you can use that site to look at items, uses animals. I know, I was hoping to get Crook. Like, that is all I was shooting for. Unfortunately, because, like, I don't know what else I'm going to do with that. But it's fine. But you can use that. They have skills. They have a monster section. They have an item section. You can, like, go through and learn some different shit. Go medium weapon. Yes, yeah. That's good observation though, Bobo. Okay, so I need 8. There we go. There we go.
And why is that?
I was suspicious of her from the very beginning.
Take a free item.
Just because of her demeanor when she went.
All right, I'm gonna go pee real quick. And something. Here it goes. Otherwise,
information she was giving was she was contradicting herself.
Yeah, I'm on death's door next.
And I just wasn't buying what she was telling us. Some of it, one of my first interviews with her, we discussed ahead of time, don't tell me any lies, don't be untruthful about anything, because if it's illegal, I don't care about that. I'm looking at the big picture here. And in that interview, she did lie.
What was the lie?
She lied about what she did on that Saturday night, where she was at, and what she did.
In your experience, your long experience as a detective, is that significant?
I believe it is, yes.
Why is that significant?
Because it just, in my mind, shows that she's hiding something.
Now, Detective Goodman, I just handed you a document labeled Exhibit 13. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, I do.
What is that document?
This is the transcribed statement that Nicole Thomas at the time gave to me on June 11th.
Okay.
To myself and Sergeant Murphy.
Now, other than a couple of redactions that are in there, you'll find that there's some black lines, I think, pretty deep into the document. Is that a true and accurate copy of that transcript?
Yes, appears to be.
The state moves to enter Exhibit 13 into evidence, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand?
No objection, Your Honor.
Plaintiff's Exhibit 13 is received without objection.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Sand, do you wish to cross-examine?
I do, sir.
You may proceed.
Detective Goodman, do you know the first time you got on the scene, what time that was and what date that was?
It was June 4th, and I believe it was around, without looking at my report, guessing around 8 p.m.
Damn, that sucks.
And that was Monday, June 4th?
Yes.
Okay.
Photograph anything at the scene?
I believe we assigned Lieutenant Strandberg to do that, to do the photographs. I don't believe I did.
Okay.
At the scene.
Come on, random enchantment. Oh, okay. 15. All right. So 30 burn.
I interviewed him
And scaling.
at least once. I think it was only one time.
Okay. Do you remember on June 22nd interviewing him?
Was it in Wolf Point, Montana?
No.
No.
Well, let me take another look here. This one was, no.
Where?
Let's see here. What can we do? Not freezing. Doesn't boost.
Did you have a chance to review your reports before you came in today?
I reviewed some, but I didn't review all the
Show you a
pages.
copy of page 16 of your report.
Okay, we're going to sell that. We're going to do this. Shift. Bam. Okay, so 13 burn.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like Detective Barnard and I did interview Devin Hall. Devin Hall on June 22nd.
Okay, you see the contents of what's in there?
You want me to read it? Okay.
Can you get a boat? Aw, damn. All right, let's try this.
So you recall that conversation?
I just smell chicken dumpling soup now.
Recall asking him about the
Or
murder
just the chicken stock.
I recall
pieces.
asking him about a knife.
Oh, God.
What did you ask him about the knife?
Just if he had recognized the knife, if he had seen the knife before.
This knife?
Yes.
What did he say to you?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for hearsay.
What did you learn from that interview?
I learned from that interview that
Objection, Your Honor. This is hearsay.
It's not, Your Honor. Well, I apologize.
Thank you. Overruled. You can answer the question.
okay. I learned at that point he identified that as a knife that he thought that he once had. That was followed up on at a later date.
Okay. Did he tell you there was an Indian head missing on one side?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for hearsay.
Wait, how is that hearsay?
Sustained.
Did you learn that he knew there was an Indian head missing on the other side?
Okay. I see what.
I learned from him that the medallion, I guess.
It felt, that was a little bit of like.
Again, followed up.
That's a bit of rage.
Pardon?
On the knife that he had.
On a knife that he thought he had.
Oh, okay.
Is there a medallion missing from this knife?
There is.
Where did it come from? Where did this knife come from?
That knife, that's a picture of the knife that we located at the scene of the homicide.
You know where it was at the homicide?
It was on the foot of the bed, near the window.
Next to Anita's body.
Correct.
On the same bed.
Correct.
Devin Hall said that he had a knife. I want to make sure I got this right. That was missing.
We have enough money to go to a merchant.
Indian medallion. And you found this knife at the scene.
Your Honor, is there a reason Mr. Sand is moving about the well?
You have an objection, Mr. Nelson?
I do, Your Honor. There's no purpose for this. You can ask questions at counsel's table.
Overruled.
Sorry, sir.
I was going to say,
This is a knife from the murder.
I think he's okay where he's at right now. Like, I get why he's up there.
Possessed a knife that was missing an Indian head medallion, correct?
That was missing the medallion, but it was later found out to be a different knife that he was confusing for this knife.
I didn't ask that, and we'll get to that interview.
Okay.
Because we've just got a recording of it.
Okay, when we burn.
Devin Hall
Okay.
admitted to having in his possession a knife with a missing medallion Indian head on one side and the Indian head medallion on the other. In that interview on
Objection, Your Honor. This is asked and answered multiple times at this point.
If I could respond.
Overruled.
He admitted to having a knife that was missing the medallion on one side.
And had the Indian head medallion on the other.
Had the medallion on the other side, but he confused it for another knife.
Your Honor, I have to object. That was not, the counsel did not ask to publish at that point.
Your objection is overruled.
Jesus, people, come on. That's an interesting skill.
You went out to Wolf Point, isn't that right?
Yeah,
Yes,
he's annoyed with the defense, or he's annoyed.
Is howling wolf?
What it is he's annoyed with this back and forth that is going on between the prosecution, the one of the prosecutors and one of the defense attorneys, because there was a comment made when they came back from break this last time. I think there was a comment made where one kind of, it was a little backhanded, like a little like unnecessary comment. I will admit, I will acknowledge that, but like it was just kind of like this stupid little banter. I'll see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. I might have to go after the fact and look in the transcripts. We're just gonna have to do that.
Okay.
We're gonna come back to after the stream, or after the law and crime stream. We'll come back and watch it. I don't blame this judge. They have kind of just been doing this like little slightly catty back and forth little jabs, and with objections and things like that. It's like they're throwing a lot of objections out there, and it's making the pacing of the trial feel very clunky, and that ends up kind of weighing on the jury a little bit, because the more that this goes on, that impacts how the jury sees all this. And like the judge is just trying to like literally make sure that that's not like a consistent, like that's not continuing to happen. Because like both of them have like tried to ask questions without having like a submission of things behind it and things like that. It's just very weird, kind of sloppy. I'm gonna be honest here. Ugh. Burn against burn. That's a strong burn. There. Mine's a little stronger, but they have shield. Yeah, I lose. That's okay.
Review that.
Yes.
Did you learn from this call that Ms. Howling Wolf believed that her son, Devin, had did something terrible?
My microphone was off, Your Honor. The objection is hearsay.
Sustained.
Jesus Christ, man.
Did you learn from reviewing this?
From reviewing that was a phone call reporting that one of those ladies had talked to somebody in Wolf Point or Fraser, Montana about Devin Hall, and asking that these ladies pray for him. And I learned, and it refreshed my memory, that this was all stemming from a lady from Family Services in the Wolf Point area had made a comment that I hope Devin didn't have anything to do with this.
What was their biggest concern on the front page? I want to ask you to take a look at that. What was their biggest
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
It's not well.
Sustained.
What did you learn from reading that first page?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Yeah, you can't. That's
not. What did you learn?
Okay.
I learned that was the phone
phrasing,
call
then.
that sparked me to follow up on why this lady in Montana was asking these other ladies to pray for Devin Hall.
Why were they asking?
They were asking, like I said, just how rumors go. The lady from Family Services in Montana had made the comment that she hoped that Devin Hall wasn't involved in this, and then that just kind of sparked as rumors do.
Did that create any issues in your mind as to why
It's a small town, yeah.
hoping Devin Hall didn't kill somebody in Minot?
Certainly, that's why I followed up on it.
So from your testimony, what I'm understanding is these women called you and were concerned that Devin Hall may have killed someone in Minot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they were saying, or she was saying, asking them to pray for her grandson, because that, like I said, that rumor flew once the lady from Family Services brought that up and said, I hope he had nothing to do with that incident in
You know how
Minot.
far Wolf Point is from Minot?
Oh, about a 4-hour drive, I think. 3-4 hour drive.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if that's necessarily acknowledging North Dakota. It's just like the way North Dakota is as a state, I guess.
What follow-up did you do after you found that
I interviewed somebody and eventually spoke with, I believe I spoke with the lady from Family Services and discovered that that's where that rumor came from.
From Family Services?
Yeah. I don't recall her name.
Do you recall working with the FBI on this case at all?
Yes.
Do you recall them telling you Devin Hall was
Objection, Your Honor, calls for hearsay.
Sustained.
Do you recall their report concluding that Devin Hall was the prime suspect?
Objection, Your Honor, that would be hearsay.
Sustained. Need to ask it.
What do you recall from that FBI report?
There you go.
When you asked if I recall working.
No, that's
It's not.
that. I was going to say that one is the right
When
question.
you asked, do I recall working with the FBI on this case? My mind immediately went to Wolf Point because I went with FBI agent Ryan O'Neill to Wolf Point. That's what I thought you were getting at. I don't know when you talk about a report. I don't know what you're referring
Did
to.
the FBI assist you in this investigation at all?
Yes, Ryan O'Neill went to Wolf Point with me, and I believe they looked at the case, but I don't believe I had really anything to do with that.
Do you remember meeting with Natasha Clancy?
I do, yes.
Can I show you that transcript to refresh your recollection of that?
Sure. Do you want me to read the whole thing?
Yeah, if you could. Thank you. It's not too long.
Come on, give me a kimono. I think this will work. That. This. I do have toy. Okay. That's the only one I confidently can take on at the moment. Like Storm will take him out. I should have bought the jewelry, but good. I probably won't win this fight. I guess it just depends. If they have limited ammo, you can win in Storm? No. They have shark claws. Which sucks. lighter is just gonna eat me alive. Chocolate bars, and then now give me away.
Conjunction with that, I'm going to have you refresh your recollection on this paragraph of the report right here. Make sure that's the right one. Starting at me.
Okay.
Here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Did you ever refer to that knife as the knife that was used to kill Anita Knudsen?
Did I ever refer to?
That knife as the knife that was used to kill Anita?
Flaming cutlass, if possible.
Yes, I have here today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you do that when you talked to Miss Clancy?
I know you did, but possibly I did. I'm not. I didn't retain it if I did read it.
It's the first line.
Okay.
God.
Okay.
This is so
Yes.
sloppy.
You refer to this, the knife?
Sloppy.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. What was Miss Clancy's reaction?
When
Objection, Your Honor, that calls for hearsay.
No.
No. Yeah, I'd agree.
Observation. So overruled. What was her reaction?
when I first showed her a picture of the knife, she acted surprised or shocked.
This fucking guy.
Do you know Miss Clancy's relationship to Devin Hall?
I believe in the statement I read that she referred to him as her nephew.
I'll take a bronze.
Do you remember talking to Miss Follett?
Who is she?
Somebody up at Wolf Point.
The name is familiar.
I know it's been a long time, and I appreciate you working with
Okay. I do. I remember that name, yes.
me. I have you review that transcript as well.
You want me to
Can
read
I-
the whole thing?
Can I have the attorneys approach the bench, please?
Uh-oh. Judge is getting impatient because they keep going back and forth. He's just getting really annoyed by it, which I don't blame him at all. Fuck my life, dude. Why am I just doing so bad? I feel like I'm missing something here. I'm missing like a major meta change that happened. I don't know.
Continue.
Have you had a chance to look at that, sir?
I have not.
Okay.
I
Go ahead and take a look at it.
okay. Go ahead and read it.
Yep.
No, he's not going to read it.
Jesus
Ask him questions,
Christ!
You can ask him questions.
Yes, you're not supposed to be able to just read it right off the sheet like that. That's not that like defeats the purpose of like
Sitting
They-
here right now, no.
defeats the purpose of like seeing if those line up. That's like the whole. That's part of the reason of like a testimony. It's to like confirm and verify that the stories are still the same and that they are able to recall what they had seen.
Devin Hall's name sounds like it kept coming up.
Because then that puts into question a lot of their credibility if they're not able to.
I did, yes.
Like, I don't know how credible some of these people, like, some of the shit on the reporting is, because half of these fucking people don't know what they're talking about. Or they're, like, uncertain because it's been so long. I'm trying to, like, be somewhat keeping that shit in mind, but...
Did you do any investigation on Club 101?
Yes.
Did you go through the records of Club 101 of who had entered?
Yes.
Okay. What'd you learn from that?
Not a whole lot. Learned that Anita Knudsen had been at that club, I think around mid-May. I tried to identify active military people, so I sent it to OSI on the Minot Air Force Base for them to review, to try and see who was active military on that list. I checked our local files to try and identify local people, just to see if I would identify somebody that stuck out for some reason, somebody that was traveling through.
You identified Jerron Vivier. Do you recall that?
Off that list? I do not.
You don't?
I don't.
Can I have you take a look at this and refresh your recollection?
Sure.
It's at the bottom of the page.
Where does it say that he was identified off that list?
I'm just having you refresh your recollection, sure.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't see that it says that.
Interesting. Interesting.
Do you recall a list being part of your report?
What I just read?
A list going through who was at Club 101?
I recall that being part of the case file, yes.
Okay. Do you recall Jerron Vivier being there?
At the 101 Club? Yes. I do not.
All right, let's see if I can do that. I can make Adelot will pop off fast enough.
Back to that. Well, never mind.
Okay, nope. Not looking too hot here.
You recall sending a list of who was at the 101?
Like, how do you have like duplicates of these? I don't understand.
July 9th, 2007.
How are you buying the same fucking items at lower class?
And again, I don't recognize the name Dan Dahl, but I recognize the phone number as...
I'm confused. I'm missing something.
Related phone number. Do you recognize your name there? And my name, yes. So this must be what I was referring to when I sent it to the base OSI.
So you'd sent this to OSI?
Yes.
I'm going to have you refer to the list you sent over. It's alphabetical by first names. In that list, did you send over a person named Jerron Vivier?
No, you can't. I think they combine by default, Bubbo.
Yes.
Like when you go to purchase it, I'm
I know it's been a long
pretty sure by
time.
default it combines.
Can I have that back?
Yes.
Crypto.
Is Anita Knudsen's name on that list as well? That same evening.
Your Honor, at this point, I have to object because we're getting quite a bit of testimony from something that is not accurate. I forget how that works because I'm not used to it with Ward County.
What's your objection?
The objection is we're getting quite a bit of testimony from an exhibit that's not entered into evidence.
I thought
he's just using it to refresh his memory about who's on the list.
Yes, I see Anita's name on the list as well.
So based on what you sent over to Mr. Dahl, Anita Knudsen and Mr. Vivier were at Club 101 together.
They both appeared to have been there that night. And that's what
Aware
I,
of Jerron Vivier's connection with Devon Hall?
I don't know why I bought
know
the
that-
golf clubs.
I don't know if there's a relation, but at least a friendship.
Are they both from that preservation?
Okay.
I believe so.
I'm just gonna. We're not gonna.
After your interview at Wolf Point, did you do any other follow-up with Devon Hall?
I don't believe that I did. I don't remember that I did anyway.
Six.
Did you know anything about Jerron Vivier outside of what I've asked you?
During the time of the investigation, I do remember his name. Yes. Yes.
Remember Devon's name coming up, obviously. You met with him a couple times.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna see. We've got Beast of Burden
You
now.
didn't like Nicole's demeanor when you saw her. You testified to that earlier.
Yes.
So you had like a hunch. You didn't like her demeanor.
During the June 11th interview or at the scene
At the scene when we were talking about her.
when she went in?
When you were talking to the state's attorney.
Yeah, when she went in,
I
I
have a note that says you didn't like her demeanor.
okay. Yeah, I don't remember saying that, but yeah, I would agree with
Maybe
that.
I'm paraphrasing. I apologize.
Okay, I would agree with it though.
And you'd gone through some text message where they were upset about an alarm clock or something like that, correct?
Correct.
God damn it! To lose this.
And we just went over all this testimony about this knife, correct?
Correct.
Devon Hall. Now we're talking about text messages between roommates and an alarm.
God, I'm doing so bad. This is embarrassing.
I want to get this right. You didn't do any follow-up on Devon Hall after that interview? You didn't talk to him again?
I don't remember that I did. It's possible that I did.
I appreciate it, sir.
We're gonna go to Pearl.
Further questions?
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Nelson, are you going to have a...
I can be very brief, Your Honor, and we can.
I'll hold you to that, Mr. Nelson.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. You've never been shy about that.
Go ahead.
Was there any information that you learned in your investigation that Jerome Vivier was at all attached to Anita Knutson in any way, shape, or form?
No.
So there's no connection between the two of them other than they both happened to be in the same nightclub on the same night?
Correct.
Were there quite a few other people that were in that same nightclub that same night?
Yes.
I mean, I could take Crane. Crane would
Now,
be
why did
actually
you follow
really
up
nice.
with the investigation regarding Devon Hall?
Just because his name came up. I mean, on the information that I've already stated, the lady's asking for somebody to pray for him because he may have been involved in that. His name came up, and we needed to either elevate him to the suspect list or dismiss him.
Did you ever get any information that put you to the point where you would elevate him to the suspect list?
I did not.
So it was a lead that you ran down, but a fruitless lead.
Correct.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Sand, last chance. Recross.
Yes, Your Honor. A fruitless lead, you said?
Yes.
After that interview and seeing this night, that was a fruitless lead?
It was, yep. Yep, the result of my investment. Yep.
He just wanted to establish that. That's crazy. That's crazy, dude.
Goodman is here by subpoena.
He can be released from the state subpoena, Your Honor. My understanding is subpoenaed by the defense.
We have him under subpoena of our own as well, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Goodman, you're not allowed to go then. You still have a subpoena. So
Do you want me to stay in Grand Forks, or can I return
Can I chat
home?
with you after court? Is that all right? We get
Sure.
it worked out. Thank you.
Yep.
you're excused. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it's time to call it a day for you.
Thank God.
Please do not converse with any witnesses, any party, or any attorney in this case concerning any matter. Direct any questions or discuss any problems that you may have with the bailiffs. Do not read about, listen to, or view news accounts of this trial. Until you retire to deliberate your verdict, please do not discuss this case. Do not allow anyone to discuss the case with you. And please do not use the internet or other electronic technology in any attempt to learn information about this case or communicate with your family, friends, or anyone else about this case. And please do not form nor express any opinion about this case.
Nope, I die
until
already.
I've given it to you for your deliberations.
I'm about to start
Again, I
switching to
hope to repeat
dually.
this instruction at each recess if I
Holy
feel to do
shit.
so, it applies to you throughout this trial.
Give me some good enchantment, please. It's not going to make that much of a difference, but
That should be fine for us, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand?
Absolutely, sir.
All right. I'd like you back here by 8:15 tomorrow morning. Bailiffs
oh,
out. Please turn off the cameras.
early. So we might. I don't think we're going to go live at 9 fucking in the morning. I don't think I'm going to be up that early, based on lately. But that's, it's been exciting. Small non-weapon. I should have waited. Those shifted hours.
Counsel, I want to remind you, I very much appreciate that you have a job to do. We're doing our best for the
That's crazy that we got a slow on that. God, that's so annoying. I would concede, but we just have to lose one more time. Okay, so we're going to be putting out quite a bit. Again. Okay, be noted, chat. Because if my internet goes out, it's going to take longer than the time allotted for me to reconnect on Twitch. So, pretty sure people get their streaks.
Yeah, this next joint right here is dedicated to all my niggas that I love. From the beginning of the birth of this whole shit.
Hey, I actually won a round. Let's go. Let's do boost. Yes. Boost. 3 ones. We'll just do this. Are you playing as Vanessa, Bobo? I don't know what they give you for like characters when you start up. Because for me, I said, fuck it. Because I had the founder's pass, I got a bunch of gems to start. So I just like bought all 3 characters. Or the other 2. Other than Vanessa. That's done. They shut the cameras off. And we just keep selling to like boost up our silk scarf and our pawn shop. Like gun balls are our best friend right now. And chocolate bars. Aha, look at that. Look at that, already 50, so it's gonna give me 1,000 extra health. Can I get 3 small items? Give me each from each character. 2 Vanessas. Jesus Christ. What is that fucking name? How do I report that? That's too aggressive. Yeah. Yep. I'm looking support. Open ticket.
Now that they know where the beat is, the thing is to feel it and to do something a little less, obvious with it. They can feel the beat now, and now they realize that what they hear is not just a string of abstract, unrelated rhythmical.
You'd like to talk to the moderation team about a Discord-related issue. No, it's not about a Discord-related issue.
It doesn't have to be constantly pounded.
That's insane. It's crazy that they don't even have any report system for things like usernames. But that's cool. Noted that they are okay with that. Got it. That makes me feel really weird about this game. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't know why. Other than the fact that there is not a way for me to report anything close to that. Like they just care about monetization and shit. Clearly in this. The support, like, I'm gonna take it. Dude, no, it literally selected one for me on that. I'll have to just email them, I guess. We'll go back later and do it. Submit the video file as well, showing it. I don't even know what to say after that. It just puts me in a weird fucking feeling. Okay, I'm gonna end the YouTube stream.